And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? That's a TikTok trend that went all over the internets, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, pretty much everywhere. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Canadian Nazis. As I said in my video about that, it's okay to be a Nazi as long as you're from Ukraine. They can do no wrong, apparently. You could be in Waffen-SS and literally hunt down and delete entire families of Jewish people. It's totally fine as long as you're Ukrainian fighting against the big bad Russians. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, you get hordes of quote unquote teens in Philadelphia looting Lululemon, Apple, Foot Locker, all kind of stuff. I mean, what better way to protest against so-called police brutality than to loot $145 pair of pants? Huh? No work boots, no work pants. Let's just steal stuff indiscriminately because we want to. Also, Bob Menendez, the Democratic senator from New Jersey, getting hit with bribery charges, wants to scream racism. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. I'm glad to be back. I'm sorry I was not able to be here on Saturday. I was out of town hanging out and I didn't have all my stuff together, but I'm back. Thank y'all again for joining. I really, really appreciate y'all. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere. There's a lot happening. Roman Empire, Canadian Nazis, the Philly looting, Bob Menendez, the German family that is potentially facing deportation from out here in Tennessee, not too far from me. Hunter Biden suing Rudy Giuliani, talking about, oh, you hacked my laptop. Oh, now it's your laptop, huh? But I thought it wasn't your laptop. I thought it was somebody else's. Like, what's really going on? Now, I have a message here on my thing that it says heavy rain is coming. Hopefully, if it rains, like in my particular neighborhood, when it rains, just hard enough, sometimes the power goes out. So if the power goes out at a certain point, don't fret. That's just a rainstorm happening. But hopefully we're going to stay online and everything's all good. But we got quite a few topics to get through. Shout out to Sydney, Australia watching. Shout out to all you guys from all over the world watching. I appreciate y'all. And I know Dude Raw. Hey, Dude Raw says, I got to let you know when I take days off. Dude, if you were here on the last Wednesday show, I was like, hey, man, I might not be able to make it on Saturday. I tried, but it didn't happen. But yeah, I ain't gonna miss no more shows. All right, Scout's honor. But we got a lot going on. I saw that Meatball got arrested, Zoot Suit Cooker. I ain't gonna say your whole name, but I saw that the young lady got arrested out there in Philly. We'll get to all that. I don't want to jump ahead and start to branch into topics, but we're going to get to everything. First things first. Shout out to the sponsors as always. Shout out to you guys. Obviously, you guys are the main sponsors. Without you, there is no me. But aside from you guys who watch my show faithfully, and thank you for that, shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Link for them will be in the description. Also, you can go to the website directly, patriotpost.us. Tell them ABL sent you. You can go to ablmerch.com. That's ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I write articles for each video that I produce. And in those articles, you're able to find out what's happening, a little bit more synopsis. You get videos that I maybe couldn't post on the YouTube for whatever the reason may be. Maybe they were too violent, too long, whatever the case. I could put everything right there. And I'll also give you sources and links so you could do your own independent research. Again, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to anthonyblogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter. All that good stuff is right there on my contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact. And as I always say, every single stream, and I'm going to still say it because I still get emails from some of y'all, okay, complaining about this issue. If you're wondering if you're speaking to me or not through the internet, you could just cross-reference. All right. My email is right there on my website, anthonyblogan.com. Okay. It's real simple, real easy. I'm not hard to find. You could do your Googles. I'll pop right on up. Now, if you are conversing with an email of someone pretending to be me or claiming they are me, in the email, something like, I'm a Nigerian scammer 007@gmail.com, maybe that's not me. Just maybe that's not me. If you get a message from someone pretending to be me or claiming to be me, talking about, hey, this is Anthony, this is ABL. If you send me $1.5 million, I can return you a $200 reward. Hey, if you deposit this $1 million in your checking account, then I can magically give you some money. Like legitimately, I've heard that story. I was watching the podcast. This lady was like 40 something years old, and I'm not going to say who it was. If you guys saw it, I know I'm talking about. And she's talking about one of these romance scams, but in real life, it wasn't even no online stuff. She's dating this guy in real life, and he is saying, well, look, my friend's getting some money, and I got to put it in your account. She's like, okay, yeah, sure. And then she gets an email the next morning, and her account is negative $1 million. Man, she had to call the police, all of that. So I say all that to say this. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I would never be on here trying to get any money from you, talking about get rich quick or Forex or Bitcoin or any kind of bank account information, nothing like that. So please don't get scammed in 2023. Anybody got no time for that. All right. Got it good. Now I'll keep on rocking and rolling. We got quite a few things going on. There are quite a few videos that we can review that I've not played yet on the channel. And again, I thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. All right. Now we got so much going on. Oh my goodness. We got some videos from your man. We got some pictures, interesting pictures. We got a lot happening. We got some updates, and I may do a video about some of this stuff that I've not done videos for quite yet. We're going to get into the Philly riots situation. We got a few infuriating. What I'm going to do right now, I have some things that are a tad bit infuriating. Then I'm going to get to some things that are a little bit more light. So I can just, I don't got to like bring you through crazy emotions. I can just kind of ease you into some good stuff, if that makes any sense. So let's try the first things first before we get to Philly and all that stuff. Let's try to look at what's happening here. Okie dokie. Matter of fact, this is gonna be pretty good. You know, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. All right. Yeah, this is going to be a good little compilation right here. So first things first, we're going to go infuriating and then a little bit more lighthearted. So we got the government shutdown looming. So when is the government shutdown? October the 1st? If there's no deal struck, the government shuts down when? Let me see if I can find that. I think it's October 1st. Yep. So here it is. The U.S. government will shut down on October the 1st if there is no deal struck. So what does that mean, ABL? Great question. Glad you asked. What that means is that if you are a federal worker in any capacity, you will not get paid until a deal can be reached. Now, you'll get your back pay and whatnot, but at the same time, your bills are still going to be due. And they might not want to hear about a government shutdown. They might not want to hear about a furlough because some are saying, well, it doesn't really matter. They'll get back pay. Oh, it does matter because check it out. If your rent is due on the 1st and by the 5th it's late, you're going to get a late fee. And then at a certain point, if you're still not able to provide your money, now we got eviction action potentially happening. Even if there's no eviction action, you're going to have late fees assigned to your rent and assigned to other bills. Okay, you can't pay electricity, you can't pay X, Y, Z, is that, and the third, and you might already be behind. Just because you work for the federales does not mean you got a lot of money. You might have had an emergency, some kind of medical scare. You never know what's going on in people's lives. They got things they got to pay for. Now, if you're working and you're doing what you're supposed to do, and there's a contract there, there's an agreement. Hey, I come to work, I do my thing, I get paid by the federales. Then they say, oh, we ain't going to pay it right now. We're going to pay it whenever we get to it. Now we got a problem. Now, for a little bit of context, before I show you this next video, Ukraine is set to get 20 billion with a B, 20 billion more dollars. On the low end, we've given them 70 billion, but I've seen as high as 165 billion. On the low end, 70 billion. On the high end, 165 billion US taxpayer dollars. Check it out. If the government shuts down, that 20 billion they're set to receive, they'll still get it. Oh, the government ain't shut down that much. You know, if you're a federal worker, you're working as a janitor or something like that on Capitol Hill, you won't get your paycheck until they can resolve it. But if you're Ukraine, you can get $20 billion through the government shutdown. So, having said that, here's a video right here. This woman has been working at the Library of Congress for 42 years. And if the government shuts down, she'll be furloughed. All right, let's check it out right quick, shall we? And let's get a little bit of sound. There we go. Let's check. RIP headphone users.
You worry that you won't be able to pay your bills by the end of the month if Congress doesn't act?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I worry about that. A whole lot. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry.
Price has worked at the Library of Congress cafeteria for decades, faced with yet another shutdown.
I've been up on this hill for 42 years. I've been there. Oh.
You worry that you won't be able to?
So, like I said, 42 years. Now, some are going to say, well, it's only temporary. She get her money back. As I said, you got rent due on the 1st. It's not due whenever the government feels like they're going to pay you. It's due on the 1st. And by the 5th, it's late. And by 30 days, okay, we got eviction action happening. Now, if you work for a living, regardless of what, whatever you get paid, you expect to get paid. That's just it. Whatever you do, you have an agreement. There's a contract. I agree to work for X. You got to pay me X. If you don't pay somebody something that they agreed to get paid, see, now we got something else going on, right? Now we got something else going on, and that's going to be an issue. So, yeah, but like I said, never you worry. She may not get her money on time. It may be a month or two, whenever they feel like paying, okay? But Ukraine will get their money through the government shutdown. To be clear, I will say it one more time. Come October the 1st, if you're a federal employee, you're going to be furloughed if there's no deal reached before the shutdown date. And then whenever they reach a deal, you'll get your money after that point. Ukraine will not be affected by this. Shutdown or no shutdown, they're going to get their money. So if the government shuts down October the 1st, Ukraine gets paid. If they don't shut down October the 1st, Ukraine gets paid. How you feel about that? I know that's pretty infuriating. I'd rather this lady right here get her money than Ukraine. This is an American citizen working for the government. Give her money. You know, we ain't talking about a welfare recipient necessarily. We're talking about somebody that's actually working. Give them their money for working. Now, Here's something else. Another infuriating video. This man, 95 years old, Korea War veteran, was kicked out of his nursing home because they had to make room for illegal aliens. Let's watch this.
It was very disgraceful what they did to the people in Island Shores. They gave us time to get out, but they never said when, and they never said they were going to get us out. And then one day, there's a thing on the board, a notice on the board, you gotta be out by March 15th. I think that gave us like a month and a half to find out where we're gonna go. I thought my suitcases were gonna be on the curb because I'm not that fast. If it wasn't for my daughter, they would have been on the curb. But that's what it happened, and that was it. I said, no, you're not moving me. And they said, yes, we are. And everything was done behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a chance to actually make any attempt to stop them because there wasn't enough time.
So there you have it. Again, if you didn't catch what I said before that video started rolling, this man is 95 years old, a Korea War veteran. You saw his hat, a Korea War veteran. He was kicked out of his nursing home because they had to make room for illegal aliens or asylum seekers, whatever you want to call them. All right. That's what's going on. So that's part of my issue because I think it's New York or somewhere. Their space is running. The space is kind of running out. So, all right. Korean War veteran, military veteran, 95 years old. You got to get out. Where you going to go, man? You got to find somewhere else. I don't know, man. I don't know where you're going to go, but you got to find somewhere else. No kind of assistance with being relocated. Just get out. Get out. They had a month and a half to vacate the premises. His daughter, thank goodness, came to his aid and was able to help him get from point A to point B. But without that, you're going to put a 95-year-old war veteran on the street for illegal aliens coming in doing whatever they want to do. All right. And we're going to get to that because there's quite a bit of there's quite a few videos and whatnot of people going through the razor wire and all this and that. Oh, these poor migrants going through the razor wire. Look, man, they're going through the razor wire intentionally because there's more than one way to get through the border. You don't have to get caught up in the razor wire. They're going to the razor wire to get some attention and assistance to get brought into the country. They don't care. Watch this.
Paris, thank you.
All right, let's put it on the screen.
And we've been watching these pictures on the drone in Eagle Pass. There are more and more gathering before that barbed wire. And Griff Jenkins is right there. Griff, what have you heard as you've talked to these migrants today? Hello.
Well, Bill, we want to give you a look here right along the razor wire. More than 50 migrants over here gathered, some women with small children. And you can see here, over here along the razor wire, you've got the Texas DPS and the National Guard stopping the migrants from coming through the razor. ¿De dónde eres? You can hear that, Bill. Venezuela, most of them are from Venezuela. And actually here, right at the very close next to the no trespassing city of Eagle Pass, you can see two women stuck in the razor wire here behind me. Hola, ¿cómo te llama? Ana?
Okay, I'm stuck in the wire, but I'm chilling. ¿Cómo te llama? Ana. Big smile. Ana. Big smile for what? I'm about to come to America, baby. I'm coming to America. I'm getting money. Razor wire or no razor wire, it's nothing. De nada.
¿Qué vienes ahora? Opportunidad. She says her name is Ana from Venezuela. She says, coming, Bill, for an opportunity. That's the scene.
So I'm coming to America for an opportunity from Venezuela. Does it sound like somebody trying to flee poverty and what they say, that they're fleeing climate change? Does that sound like that? Or does that sound like somebody trying to get some money? That's ultimately what it's all about, just trying to get some money. That's it. I'm trying to get money for myself, for my family back home. That's what the whole thing is about. So when you see pictures of little kids crying in the razor wire, don't buy into it. It's all BS. It's all BS because they could have gone a different way. The razor wire is not across the entire border. Or you know what they could do? You know what's even better than coming to the border through razor wire or going around it in a different location? You know what's even better? Staying home in Venezuela, staying home in Africa, staying home in Europe, Ukraine, Russia, staying home wherever you came from. All right, that's even better. Don't come here. How about that? Let's keep on going.
Right here, we'll see whether or not Border Patrol comes and cuts the wire, as we've seen them in past days do.
And that's something else. What's happening is if they get so-called caught in the razor wire, the Border Patrol will come cut it. Because if you got a little kid caught up in the razor wire crying and everything, now mind you, the parents then put them in the razor wire to get cut. They get cut out, special attention. All right, coming to the border. That's the whole game. That's what's going on right now. Now, people will do anything to get into the country. Anything to get into the good old US of A. All right. Now, here's something else I want to show you guys. This is a really interesting picture. I'm going to read the caption and then I'll put it on the screen. So let's watch this. Shout out Charlie Kirk for reposting it. The caption I'm going to read first, then show you the picture. He says, you want more proof that wokeness, CRT, and DEI, or DIE, as I like to say, diversity, inclusion, equity, or diversity, equity, and inclusion. You want more proof that wokeness, CRT, and DEI garbage is the left's official religion? Washington National Cathedral has removed stained glass windows of Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson and replaced them with mostly peaceful, quote-unquote, BLM scenes and images of protesters holding up, quote-unquote, no foul play and, quote-unquote, fairness signs. How about a stained glass of Jesus, Paul, Moses? Yeah, that'll make more sense, right? Like, okay, if you don't want Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, okay, that's fine. Why not put up religious figures? Why not put up, like things that make sense for a church rather than BLM stuff? Now, check it out. You might not be able to see it. I'm going to try to zoom in as much as I can. All right. So you see what's happening with the stained glass. This is at the Washington National Cathedral. This is in a church. All right. Church has become if you haven't noticed, a lot of your big churches in big cities have become very woke. 100%. We ain't talking about the inappropriate stuff. That's a whole different ball of wax. Your normie churches, a lot of the big ones have become very woke. What you see right here, you see people holding signs, fairness, and I think it's two signs that say fairness. I'm not sure what it says right there. Not or no, I have no idea. But you got black and brown folks, obese folks, LGBT folks holding the signs, all right? And then it says no foul play. It says fairness and no foul play. Now, I don't know where that comes from, those specific phrases. In a church, I have no idea. But these are stained glass windows in the church. So imagine seeing Black Lives Matter stuff in stained glass windows. Yes, indeed. We're seeing it, folks. I saw one of those LGBTQ, elemental P, X, Y, and Z signs. Matter of fact, I saw when I was in the airport leaving Norfolk, I'm going to send it to myself right now. I saw, you go to like a little souvenir shop and they have, I might not be able to find it, but you go to a souvenir shop and you see, like little keychains and stuff like that. They had one that said Norfolk on it and had the trans LGBT flag. I lie to you not. It's like that has become their official thing. Let's see if I can find that right now. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. There we go. Let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and send it to myself. I'm going to put it on the screen in just one moment. But yeah. And you know what, Diane, you're making sense what you're saying. Diane says, if possible, get out of blue states and run from urban areas. But didn't I show you guys the University of Wyoming with the transgender person that was admitted, and then the sisters of the sorority had to sue their own sorority and they didn't really get anywhere? And didn't I show you guys what was happening in Oklahoma City. You know, the blue wave is spread all over the country. I was watching the video from my man, I forget his name. He does a lot of travel videos. I think his name is Nick Johnson. I'm probably saying the wrong thing, but shout out to him. He was showing Bozeman, Montana. Bozeman, Montana was looking like San Francisco, but a small version of it. Homelessness, tents, people on drugs, a small version of it. Bozeman, Montana. And then he's going on the street doing interviews, asking them, hey, where you came from? Like, how long are you a native of Bozeman? No, I'm from California. The California virus is spreading all over the country. So it's like you're trying to escape, but they're trying to escape too. And it might come to where you're coming to. So you might like Boise, Idaho. You might like Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix is pretty much California. I like Phoenix, but it's California. Small California. Boise, Idaho, a lot of places are becoming just like California. Nashville, Tennessee, a lot of Californians there. It's to the point where having California plates is a stigma. And the same guy I'm talking about, he had a travel channel I was watching. He had a rental from with California plates, and he was getting harassed like at a gas station. Dude tried to fight him. He had this big truck, and then he blew smoke on him as he was leaving. It's like, because we all understand that this California virus is hitting all over the country, and it's a problem. All right, here we go. I got the picture, and I'm going to keep on going here in just a minute. So thank y'all again for watching. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. All right, so look, watch this. This is what I saw in the airport. All right, look, you see this? That's what I saw. Again, when you go to the airport, little souvenir shops, keychains and little stuff like that, and you got one that say Norfolk, another one say Virginia Beach. You got the trans flag with the black and the brown. That's pretty much become their official flag. Okay, non-binary, trans, and there might be a different thing in there, right next to the old minivan with the surfboard and all that, Chesapeake Bay. With the turtle, yeah, you're gonna have the trans flag right there. A whole lot of them. I saw more of these than anything else. You got some of these as well, but really it was the Norfolk. That's pretty much what it was. Pride flags, and everything else. That's what's going on nowadays. That's what's happening in these streets. It's everywhere. You try to escape it, it's like it's gonna find you. It's gonna find you everywhere. So that's what's happening right now in these streets. But we got a few more videos to get through, and I'm gonna try to get a little teeny bit more. I'm gonna show you some updates and then get a little bit more lighter, a little bit more light, I should say. Now here is your main man, Mitch McConnell, not glitching. It's funny how when the subject is giving cash to Ukraine, there's no glitching, right? When you get asked a different question, hey, you run again? How about your personal finances? Ukraine. Oh, well, we're going to give all the cash to Ukraine, and we're going to make sure we give them all the money that all the taxpayers can afford. All right, let's check it out right quick.
Providing assistance for the Ukrainians to defeat the Russians. That's the number one priority for the United States right now, according to most Republicans. Providing assistance for the Ukrainians to defeat the Russians. That's the number one priority for the United States right now.
Is that the case, Mr. McConnell? I don't know about that. I don't know about that, sir. I think that the majority of us are not really feeling the Ukraine thing too tough. And we're going to get to the Ukrainian Nazi that got praised at the Canada Parliament. That was the craziest thing I've seen in quite a bit. The entire Parliament, round of applause for an actual Nazi. Talking about something we didn't know. So a Ukrainian fighting Russia in World War II, you didn't put two and two together. Now, I'm no historian, but what else could he have been? Again, I'm a small history buff. I don't know everything, but come on, for real, you didn't know that? The Russians are fighting Nazis in Ukraine now as they were doing back in World War II. Have they ever stopped fighting Ukrainian Nazis in Ukraine? Has Russia ever stopped fighting the Nazis? I don't think so. They've been fighting Nazis since World War II. For 100 years or more, they've been fighting the same people. But anyway, let's watch this. Here's an update. Now, this was a pretty surprising update. Remember the guy, speaking about that part of the world, remember the guy that fled South Korea from the U.S. military to North Korea? Talking about, oh, well, U.S. is so, the society is backward and is racist, allegedly is what he said. Well, they sent him back. North Korea sent him back home. Now, I don't know what you had to do to get expelled from North Korea. I don't know what you did, but good grief, because normally what happens is they would go ahead and just delete you. They'd go ahead and delete you. And that's pretty much, they would keep you for ransom. They delete you. They wouldn't just send you back. Now, there could have been some ransom exchange going on, but I doubt it. It just sent them back. So watch this. American soldier Travis King is in quote unquote good health and spirits in U.S. custody and on a plane out of China after North Korea expelled him 2 months following his quote unquote defection. Okay. Just kicked him out of the whole country. I've never seen that before. Okay. Like I said, normally they're going to get deleted. Deleted, held ransom or something. Nope, get out. He must have been acting the plum fool. But then again, if he was acting crazy, he got deleted. They have no problem deleting people. It's fine. They do it to their own people. It's whatever. You act a fool. All right, man. Just go over there, stand against the wall, and it's going to be night. But they send him home. So we're going to see how this whole thing plays out. I want to hear from him. I want to hear his side of the story. I want to hear how this whole thing happened. I want to hear from North Korea, from the U.S. military, and from him. Let's hear all sides, and maybe we can glean some truth from it. Because if we hear it from North Korea, they're going to say one thing, might not be true. The military will most certainly lie to us, and he might not be necessarily of sound mind. But if we hear all sides, we might be able to get a full story, potentially. But anyway, that's an update about that. Now, I got more. This is a video I put on my Instagram, and I also put it on my YouTube shorts. If you guys saw it this morning, this is a pretty interesting video. Some say it's propaganda, some say it's not. You guys let me know what you think. This is NBA basketball player Jimmy Butler. Now, before I get into it, Jimmy Butler is a star player for the Miami Heat. All right, NBA basketball team. Let's check out his contract because we got to understand how much money he makes. Basketball players make a lot of money. Okay, so watch this. Jimmy Butler's contract, let me see. He signed a contract for 3 years worth $146,396,000. So $146.4 million over 3 years. He's a veteran. He's been in the NBA for a long time. He was on the Timberwolves, the Chicago Bulls. He's been on at least about 2 to 3 other teams aside from the Heat. The Sixers, he was there for a while. This might be his 4th team, right around that. So he's been in the NBA for quite a while. He's like 30-something years old. 3-year contract, $146 million for 3 years. All right? For perspective purposes. Not to hate or to be envious, just for perspective. All right? Now, this is him right here pumping gas, and he has a comment about how much the gas costs. Let's check it out.
This is high rate robbery. Man, I'm trying to get some of this gas back. Hey, you think if I go in there and tell them that I put the wrong gas in here, they'll give me a refund? This is crazy. I'm going electric. This is high rate robbery. Man, I'm trying to.
So you see what's going on right there. $145 for 19 gallons of gas. That's quite a bit of money. Now, I'm not quite sure what kind of vehicle he has right there, but $145 at one time for gas.
Get some of this gas back. Hey, you think if I go in there and tell them that I put the wrong gas in here, they'll give me a refund? This is crazy. I'm going electric.
Now, this was very interesting because of what he said at the end about going electric. Now, somebody says, Rex Rocker says, I might go electric. Unfortunately, EV charging is matching gas now. Wasn't always that way, though. So how much is EV charging? Okay, so if you have an EV, and let's say you got like a regular sedan, not nothing fancy, not no kind of SUV, like a sedan, like the equivalent to a Toyota Camry or something like that. Now, my Camry, it's probably about $25-$30 maybe to fill up from E, maybe 40 at the most with 87. About $35. It depends from E or 87. And the gas where I live is like $3.19 for 87. Now where you live is probably a lot more if you're living on the West Coast, especially. You're living in California, you're going to pay an arm and a leg and your firstborn child for a gallon of gas. I understand. But where I live is not that much. So how much will it take to fill up, I guess you would say, a tank or your battery from E in an electric vehicle at a charging station? Are they free? I don't think they're free, are they? Unless you have a Tesla. And isn't that like baked into your price? I'm not really sure how the whole thing works. All that I do know is that whenever I go to Buc-ee's and I ride by the stations, people are pretty much held hostage in their vehicle. Look, after you got to get out of your vehicle, walk your dog, go jog, go inside, have a little power, watch a movie or something, because it takes a long time to charge. When I go to the gas station, I can pump my gas in 2 minutes and I'm out. That's it. Matter of fact, what I do where I live, because it's a nice area, I could just put my pump in the tank, put a little latch on it to where it goes automatically, go in the store, get something to drink, get one of those little cookie things. I love cookies. That's my weakness. Go in there, get that, and when I come back, it's done. A pack of gum, some Trident, it's done. It's already finished. Meanwhile, if you have to charge an EV from empty to full, I suppose, you're going to be a while. So, but give me some prices on filling an electric vehicle battery from E to full, like a regular, a Toyota Camry, like a sedan style vehicle. I ain't talking about something big and crazy, but a sedan style vehicle. That's what I want to know. But I do know that it takes a long time. It takes like, 45 minutes or something crazy like that for a rapid charge. And if you got a regular at-home charger, you got to put it on a charger overnight like a cell phone. You can't just, like if you got to go on a long trip and you have a certain range in your vehicle, like 300 miles, 400 miles, you got to stop and fill up. And it's going to be a while. That's going to add a lot of time until your travel. All right. But yeah, I mean, $145 for a tank of gas is crazy. Although he's worth a lot of money, he makes quite a bit of money per year. Even after taxes, after all of that, is millions of dollars. It's tens of millions, and then plus endorsements and investments. A rich guy, but still, that's a lot of money. I don't want to pay that. But do you think that's a plan? Because some said that's the whole Bidenomics plan, to make your gas vehicle unaffordable to operate, so it gives you an incentive to go electric. Is that the whole plan? Now, if that's the plan, guess what? It ain't gonna work. I'd rather would get some, I'd rather would drive a little smart car, a clown car. I'd rather it would be scrunched up in there like a contortionist, like David Blaine in a little box thing, whatever that guy's name is. I'd rather it would be like that in my vehicle, driving gas to save on mileage rather than getting an EV. Nothing against EVs, but I don't want to be coerced or forced into it. I don't want to do that. If I want to get an electric vehicle, I want it to be on my own accord, not because the Biden administration forced me to do it. I don't want to do it. Yeah, and I got a Mustang recently, so now I'm V8 till the casket drops, and I'm revving it. Vroom. I'm revving it hard. I don't care. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, people are asking if I'm going to show the debate. No, I'm not going to show the debate because they don't let you show the debates anymore. You know, they don't show the debates because last time, and it was on Fox last time as well, I think it'd be the same time, the same place this time. It's on Fox Business. Last time, Fox said, if you show the debate more than, I think, if you show it for more than 10 minutes, you're going to get a copyright claim or copyright strike. I'm like, I was mad at them back then for doing that because when I say back then, I mean the first debate on Fox. They're having a second debate also on Fox. But for the first debate, they sent out a notice saying that you cannot stream it for more than 10 minutes. And if you do, it'd be a copyright claim and all this and that and the third. It might be a strike on your channel. I was mad when they did that because if you want these guys to get any attention, you need to allow the streamers, the online guys, the commentary guys like myself and many others to have confidence in being able to stream it and comment on it without any kind of interruption, without fear of getting a copyright strike. I'm not going to risk my channel for the runner-up debate because let's be clear, nobody is within any distance of Donald Trump as far as being a nominee. Some may not like that fact, but it's reality. Nobody is within any kind of reach, any kind of way close to Donald Trump. And that's just the reality of the situation. So quite frankly, it's pointless because who's going to be able to get the nomination beyond Trump? Nobody. It's not even close. And Trump's not even going to be there. So it's like, who are y'all even debating? And what are y'all debating for? You know, I was watching Fox or something this morning, and I saw Nikki Haley campaigning in Iowa. I'm like, for what? I forgot she was running. I forgot they all were running. I've not seen any coverage about them. What have I seen lately? Trump this, Trump this, Trump. NFL football, college football, Deion Sanders, Trump. Bob Menendez, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, Trump. Nothing about Ramaswamy, Tim Scott. You only see these guys when it comes time for a debate. You only see these guys on television. You don't see these guys doing anything online. The only guy that did any kind of thing online was Vivek, as far as I know. He's the only one. The rest of them you don't see at all. I forgot they were running, and I'm in the political sphere 24/7, 365. So they have no chance. So what's the purpose in even having the debate? I don't know. I have no idea, but y'all let me know. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And that's right, Michael Critch. So Taylor Swift. Yeah. Trump. College football, NFL football, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce. That's all you hear about. You don't hear about anybody running for office at all, aside from Trump. And Joe Biden because of the whole corruption thing with his son Hunter. That's it. That's all you see and that's all you hear about. All right. Now let's keep on going here. We got a few more things happening. You got a few more things happening, and I got an interesting video. I got quite a few interesting videos actually. All right, but let's keep rocking and rolling. I got a funny one too. Y'all hang tight. All right, here we go. Let's watch this. Now, I'm not sure where this is. I think it's somewhere in Europe, Germany, Poland, somewhere. Now, you got a bunch of these dweebs on the ground again. Dweebs on the ground, in the way, climate activists or whatever. And we got this big truck behind them, Transformer style. So what's going to happen? Okay, these dweebs are on the ground, these mouth breathers. All right. They've not had a shower in a few days. Watch it. Watch to the end. Now, you know what? That right there is fantastic. I need to see a lot more of that. Water cannons for the win. You know, they do that overseas. I mean, we need more of that here. I was watching the new Luther movie on Netflix with Idris Elba. And toward the beginning, they had a prison breakout scene where they hit the water cannon on them. I was like, we need that. We need that in America. Less than lethal. All right. It's eco-friendly. We're not shooting off we're not ruining the atmosphere. We're watering the ground, right? We could take seawater and we don't got to use expensive water that's been that's been purified. Hey man, load them trucks up with the water and let that cannon go. Let the water cannon go. Bring water cannons back. Bring the water cannons for the Philly loaders out there at Lululemon, Apple, and everything else. Bring that for them. One more time if you didn't catch it out. Hey, that's right, Chet. They needed a shower anyway. That's right, Norvorn the Great. They needed a shower anyway. Give them some bars of soap. Give them some body wash, some loofahs, body scrubbers, and let it be. You killed two birds, one stone. So yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to them for getting that water action. All right. Now, here's an interesting video for you guys. Maybe you guys are familiar with this whole phenomenon or this issue. Maybe you're not. Let me explain. So there's a thing with gamers where there's not enough women in gaming, I suppose. There was one gaming team, like a pro gaming team, and the girl had a chance to make the team, but she didn't. And there was allegations that she didn't make the team because the team was all male and they didn't want to play with a girl. Now, that could have been true. Maybe it wasn't true. But that's the issue. There's not enough women in gaming. And when I say gaming, I don't mean Candy Crush and stuff like that. That's fine. That's okay. I'm talking about like League of Legends, Call of Duty, stuff like that. Now, here is the solution to the problem. You ready? Let's watch it.
LCS Game Changers is a really important event to me, and it's very close to my heart. I've been in every iteration of the program since 2021, and the 2021 program was actually my first ever comp experience.
So, do you see what I see? Do you see this Weird Al Yankovic looking character right here? You see, this is a she, her, but obviously from this Michael Jackson looking jaw, there's something a little bit different about this she, her in gaming. You get my drift? Now there's more. It's a whole team of them. Watch this.
To me means, I think it's just an opportunity. I think it's a really good opportunity. Something especially that I've struggled with is like getting the chance to prove myself, like actually getting the opportunity to go to tryouts, to like play in combines is like something I've been denied like several times, especially even in times where I really should have been given the opportunity. And so it's really just a wonderful opportunity to show myself off.
I'm a girl. I can't really get into these spaces because I'm a girl and they don't like girls in gaming. My man. My man.
And show off what I have. And I'm sure a lot of the other players feel the same way.
It's more about to show everyone what we are capable of. Instead of like punching each other, we lift each other up. That's how we show everyone that we are good.
To me, LCS Game Changers means uplifting women and people of marginalized gender and demonstrating how, despite what people may think, we're actually very talented.
LCS Game Changers to me.
So you get the idea. This entire team of so-called girl gamers is all guys. it's all guys. So you know what? They're kind of doing some cutting edge stuff right here, right? Because we always say, or at least I always say, and a lot of you guys will probably agree, that rather than having the men just intrude upon women's spaces by putting the wig on with this big crazy Adam's apple protrude, your Adam's apple is an Adam's orchard. Your Adam's apple is a whole pumpkin, a mature pumpkin in your throat. But anyway, rather than them intruding upon women's spaces, and rather than them feeling uncomfortable in men's spaces, have your own space. There we go. Problem solved. Problem solved. You know, men are very good at solving problems. Men are very good at solving problems. There you go. There you have it.
Is much more than having this competition and going to LA and meeting new people. It's for me, it's this light at the end of the tunnel because especially women and especially I've dealt with a lot of bad things in this community that has really pushed me and shied me away from committing all my time into this. But Game Changers is literally.
So you see what's going on. Here's another one. All right, the video's gonna have a hard time playing, but you get the idea of what's happening. You see my man right here. All right, I identify as a woman. He, she, her, he, them, all this and that and the third. That's what's going on. So they created their own little league. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. There are no girls on the team. That's the whole point. It's all transgender. It's 100% transgender. So you might have got a little tricked, but no. These are all men. And you know, somebody asked a question earlier. Somebody said, do women enjoy gaming? Not really. Not that kind of gaming. We're different. Men are different than women. Men enjoy strategy games, first-person shooters, action, beat 'em up, hack and slash. We enjoy that. Women enjoy Candy Crush, the Kim Kardashian game, stuff like that. They enjoy. And that's fine. It's okay. You have things you enjoy. I have things I enjoy. You might enjoy Barbie dolls and dresses and pink and stuff like that. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing at all wrong with enjoying different things. Okay? You might enjoy teapots and stuff like that. That's great. That's great. But to act like we're the same but no difference, we don't have different things we enjoy is silly. It's just silly. That's not living in reality. That's not biology. That's anti-science. Let's check it out right here. Oh, your man Joe Biden says the black community will suffer if the government shuts down. All right, check it out.
In the meantime, I want to say a word about those in Congress who are willing to shut down the government. Just a few months ago, the Speaker of the House and I agreed to spending levels for the government. We were up right to the very edge, almost reneged on our debt, and that we're going to fund essential priorities and still cut the deficit by $1 trillion over the next decade. Now, a small group of extreme House Republicans, they don't want to live up to that deal, and everyone in America could be faced with paying the price for that. We changed it. We made a deal. We shook hands. We said this is what we're going to do, and now they're reneging on the deal, which is not much of a surprise these days. And the black community in particular is going to suffer if that occurs. For example, shutdown is going to risk nutrition assistance to nearly 7 million moms and children. It's going to disproportionately affect black families. The Department of Housing and Urban Development will have to stop nearly all its enforcement work fighting housing discrimination. EPA would have.
So there you have it. That's your man, Joe Biden, barely intelligible, talking about how the government shutdown is going to impact the black community. But hey, if the government shuts down and the black community gets affected, it's all good because Ukraine will not be affected. How does that make any sense? You want to look out for United States citizens, but yet Ukraine will get priority over us. So what you just said was if we are going to suffer as a so-called black community, Ukraine won't. Ukraine above the black community in America. Ukraine above American citizens, regardless of what the color is. Gotcha, boss. I got you. All right. Now, I'll read some of the comments about the gaming. Somebody said I'm a ding-dong because some women enjoy Call of Duty. Well, yes, there's always exceptions to the rule. Like, some men like wearing dresses and makeup and everything else, but that don't mean that's normal. You know, that's not like what you're going to see at the mall is a bunch of regular straight guys wearing makeup and heels and all that kind of stuff. Typically, men like one thing, women like something else. But it's not always the case. You might see a big F-350 lifted, pull up to the gas station, and a woman hops out. Hey, you driving your boyfriend's car? Hard. No, it's my car. That happens occasionally. But if you see it, it's surprising. Why? Because it's uncommon, right? But anyway, yeah, it's just, come on, man. We all know what I'm talking about. We all know what I'm talking about. We don't got to get weird with it. But we got a whole lot going on. Where are we going to start? I think we should show the video about the Roman Empire. How about that? Now, the Roman Empire thing, this was a trend on TikTok, I think, where women were asking their boyfriends, husbands, or whatever, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? And I guess the whole thing was they were getting surprising responses because they don't speak to their boyfriends or husbands that deeply. So let me see if I can pull up this news clip and see what they say. It's interesting. Now, normies are going to show Gladiator. I mean, that's kind of like, that's super, super, super duper normie. That's not really what the Roman Empire, it goes so deep. You're talking about Caesar salad, that's Julius Caesar. You're talking about the Senate in America that comes from the Senate in Rome. The collapse of the early Roman Empire before Byzantine, before Ottoman Empire, before all that, the early Roman Empire, the collapse of it, things that were going on in society. Gladiator is just a movie. That's just like normie interfacing with the Roman Empire. All right. But let's just watch this news clip. A little bit of normie stuff going on, but it's okay.
Who is he? Will you remove your helmet and tell me your name?
My name is Gladiator.
Today I saw a slave become more powerful than the Emperor of Rome.
Oh my
Classic.
gosh.
It's classic.
I think we already have Mike on board. Okay, so normally when I hear TikTok trend, I immediately tune out because I'm like, okay, what Tide, like a teenager eating a Tide Pod, like don't eat it.
No. Right.
This TikTok trend, I'm telling you, is hysterical. There is a new trend on TikTok where women ask their male partners, how often do they think about the Roman Empire? And the answers are astounding because I'm a woman who never thinks about the Roman Empire.
Right. Not at all.
Neither do I.
When's the last time you thought about it?
The Roman Empire now.
School.
Right now, because we're talking about it. That's the only reason.
Really?
The only reason. Okay, so how this originally, I'm dying to get your answer.
I'm just really curious how many times you think of the Roman Empire.
It's a little bit different for me.
Started by a Roman reenactor went on TikTok and said, I don't think women understand how often men truly think about the Roman Empire. So then a woman took the challenge and she started she asked her partner and the answers are more frequent. So I guess.
And this is a huge thing now. And people are like weighing in and it's creating all these sort of shocked moments and people say, see, it's a little bit different for me personally because my son is named Roman.
So you think
named after Rome. And so for me, it's, you know, actually thinking about the empire part of it. I love the history.
Okay.
And I love Rome.
Okay.
And the whole thing, you know, they built this thing, right? And it wasn't built in a day, as they say.
Okay, it giving their own personal opinion about it. That's fine, but that's not really what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to show this. Let's just watch this. This is better.
How often?
Because this is just actual people's reactions on TikTok. All right, let's just watch this.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Annually, maybe? I don't know, at least twice a day.
Sometimes I think about it every day.
Every time I fight people,
crazy.
I think about like walking into the Colosseum.
Are you not entertained?
Either about their armor, their swords, their roads,
Their armies, we have to be ready for battle at all times, and the Roman Empire is all about battle.
And the goal of being conquered by France, then I just went, oh, they weren't as good as the Romans, though.
So the concept once a year. Yeah. And then anything 5 times a year.
Yeah. You remind me of Rome, so Marcus Aurelius.
So the Catholic Church, Vatican City, all of that was actually started by Constantine, who was one of the last Roman emperors.
So every day.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's a taste of some of the people that said their particular opinion about the Roman Empire. How often do you think of it? All this and that and the third. So it's a pretty interesting little trend on the TikToks. It went mega viral. And then there was one video that I played in mine, and I also put it on my IG. And if you're not following me on IG, please do so. Instagram.com/Anthony B. Logan. Just go to your Instagram app, search me. You'll be able to find me pretty easily. Let's watch this. All right.
Do you ever think about the Roman Empire?
All the time.
Why? What are you thinking about it?
Well, because we're in those times right now. Everybody's preoccupied with sports, movies, work, you know.
What was it you said about bread?
Well, all right. The common people, Roman Empire said that everybody was equal. Everybody had a chance.
Uh-huh.
But it wasn't. The rich got richer and the poor got poorer. And they worried constantly about people rioting.
Uh-huh.
Because they knew that the common man, the common people,
Uh-huh.
could take over at any time. So they would bring them into the Colosseums, and they would give them free grain, they would give them bread, they would give them wine, whatever they needed to fill their bellies and block their minds from what they were angry about. They would watch plays, they would watch fights with the gladiators, sometimes for months on end.
Huh.
And that's where we're at right now, and I think about it all the time. Because so many people are preoccupied with their favorite football team, their favorite actor, actress, singer, and they just don't even think about what's being taken away from them. As long as their bellies are full and they're happy with what's going on, they just let it continue.
Wow. Do you ever?
So there you have it. There you have it. That was a pretty interesting video, and it's right on it. It's right on point. I think that was a good way to sum up how, in the nutshell, how the Roman Empire can relate to what's happening right now today in the USA. You know, as far as the fall of the other Roman Empire, that's the main thing. And as far as Caesar salad, I think I was talking about Caesar hairstyle. Back in the day when I used to get haircuts, I know maybe you don't think I did, but the style we would get is the Caesar, the low with the line. That's a Caesar cut. And white guys get it too, but it's a little bit different. Nothing racial, but it's just different hair. So it's just cut differently. Like Mark Zuckerberg has a Caesar, but obviously I'm not going to be able to cut bangs into my hairstyle. That's not really going to work with my hair. But anyway, so that was an interesting video. I think it's pretty much on point. Shout out to my man for giving a really introspective take on the Roman Empire and how it can relate today. There's a lot of things that we do, that we utilize, that the way that we operate in government and society that comes from the Roman Empire. Of course, the fall of it was a lot of open LGBT stuff, and a lot of it came from the elite. Your emperors, what they say, the rumor about Julius Caesar was that he was a man for every woman and a woman for every man. A man for every woman and reverse for the men. So he was a switch hitter, allegedly. That was a rumor. Some said that was propaganda, all this and that and the third. However, there were others where it was not propaganda. Nero was a nut. Some of you guys mentioned Nero, fiddling while Rome burned or whatever. Nero had a husband and a wife. He allegedly beat his wife to death. Then his husband, he had castrated, and he would make him wear women's clothing and parade him around town like that. So what you had was a post-op transgender back then. All right, one of the emperors is doing that. We're seeing the same thing starting to Well, not starting. We're seeing the same thing happening right now. It's happening right now. And a lot of it comes from the elite people. It comes from them. You seeing drag queens in church and things like that. Who's pushing this kind of stuff? Those that got power, those that are elites, your politicians, your teachers unions, they're pushing that kind of stuff. It's not necessarily your common man. Unfortunately, your common man is often buying into it and just kind of going along with it. You see, the flag that I showed you earlier that had a Norfolk on it with the trans, all that kind of stuff, that's kind of a recent thing that got pushed by the elite people. They invented it, they pushed it, they marketed it, and then now, boom, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. All right. So, oh yeah, somebody says how bad they smelled back then. Oh, the smells are crazy. The communal toilets and everything, which got fixed. Yeah, it was a mess. All right. Somebody says ancient times sex was not a taboo except for the ancient Israelites. Well, it depends on what society you're talking about. You know, I think that you're talking about Europe, like Rome and stuff like that, is a little bit different than Asia, Africa. It's a little bit different. You know, and it depends what you're talking about right now today. Africa, like they got the anti-LGBT laws in certain parts of the world. Some religions is a little bit different. Like some parts of the world, you got religion that's interpreted differently. You go to Afghanistan, they got the dancing boys, and it's just like whatever. It's not really a big deal. But other parts of the Middle East, that's not necessarily a thing. You could get stoned for that. You could get deleted for that. So it's a regional thing. It's a cultural thing. So it wasn't always that way all across the world, but in certain societies, it was like that. And a lot of that kind of influence is what led up to Rome eventually falling. Uganda, that's right, Roger, with the anti-LGBT. But there's also laws like that all over the world. There's what they call anti-buggery laws in Jamaica about some anti-LGBT stuff because of some history on the island with slavery, which I won't get into. But it depends on where you are, how relations between people is viewed. You know, yeah, it was not all over the world at all. All right. But definitely ancient Rome, yeah, a lot of that was going on. But the main thing that I wanted to get from that particular video I showed you was where the wife was asking, what'd you say about bread? Bread and circuses. That came from ancient Rome. Bread and circuses, and if I'm wrong, y'all correct me. Bread and circuses referred to the common people, the average person, non-elites, maybe even the slaves. Hey, you're giving your bread, you're giving your wine, you're giving certain things to pacify you. You're giving the slaves beating themselves up, called gladiators. You're giving that to entertain you. You got other issues going on, but you could be distracted with bread and circuses. You know, this is part of the reason why people ask me, hey, ABL, is there going to be an American uprising, a civil war? I'm like, why would there be a civil war? Why would there be an uprising? People are comfortable. They may be broke, but I mean, you got Netflix, right? You got college football, right? You got, what else you got? You got your drugs, you got your alcohol. They're legalizing all these drugs nowadays, or they kind of decriminalize them. So you could just, you could get drunk, get high, do whatever you want to do. See, when I speak about drugs, I'm looking at it from the perspective of a society that's doped up, that's high on drugs, is easy to control. It reduces civil unrest. You got to see it from the point of view of those that are trying to run the show. How are you going to have people really fight back against the system when they're high on fentanyl? How are they going to fight back? So what better way to weaken a nation and to pacify them and to do whatever you want to do to them than to put them on drugs? China understands that because that's why they keep flooding us with the fentanyl precursors. America, at a certain point in certain parts of the country, understand that, so they allow it to go on. They allow open air drug markets in Philadelphia, and they put it right in one area. So they could just centralize all that madness and filth into one spot. I was watching a video about Kensington, Philadelphia, the big open air drug market. And there were people doing some kind of expose or report, as they always do, cameras, everything. And one of the reporters is seeing somebody OD, and he called the police. And then when the police get there, when the EMTs get there, they're like, "Why'd you call us?" They're like, well, he's dying. It's like, look, do you see where you are? They all look the same. So what if they die? That's the whole point. They don't care. Put them all in one area and let them die off. They're not going to fight back. They're not going to do anything other than just decay right here on the street. That is that's the goal and the aim of legalizing drugs. It's not even about your precious weed or your precious shrooms. It's not even about that. It's about trying to control you, to weaken you, and to ultimately neuter you so you don't fight back. It's easy. It's simple. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And speaking about Philadelphia, we got to show what's happening with the looting, with the looting and carrying on down there. So here's what happened. Young guy named Eddie Irizarry got deleted, I think, by the police. And initially there was charges. A judge dropped the charges against the officer. They've been refiled by the prosecution, which I don't understand. It's like, okay, you're going to file charges, have a judge drop it, and then refile it. What are you doing? Anyway, so when the charges got dropped, there was a anti-police brutality protest. It was allegedly peaceful. And then after the protest, or at the end of it, you got the teams that come out and loot Lululemon, Apple, Foot Locker, a liquor store, ridiculous ghetto nonsense. Listen, I gotta just relax. If I was King ABL, I could just rule by fiat, do whatever I want to do. I could just decree things and make them so. Anyone that steals, you're getting corporal punishment, 1,000 lashes in the street, hand chopped off, something, because what's going to happen is when you do stuff like that, you're going to ruin the community. You're going to ruin it. These buildings that they're looting a lot of times are brand new buildings, brand new. We're trying to bring resources. We're trying to bring money. We're trying to bring development to a place. It's so weird. You got people complaining about there being no development. Oh, we're impoverished. We're in a food desert. I don't want to hear one person cry about a food desert. Listen, in order to not have food deserts, you can't have a store built and then rob it every day, burglarize it every day. You can't do that. Here's an example. Going back to Virginia, my dad was one of the people that was pushing for a grocery store in Berkeley. Berkeley is like the hood in Norfolk. He pushed for that store for so long. For so long, he pushed for that store. They finally get a Farm Fresh. Was it supported? Was it patronized properly? No. People are in there stealing, acting the fool outside, and eventually it shut down. You tried so hard to get a thing there, but the community refuses to support it. I don't care how poor you are. You shouldn't be destroying your own store. You live here. Don't destroy this store. You're getting food stamps anyway. Why are you stealing from the store? For what? When I go to Walmart every time on the first of the month, you know what I see? Garbage in people's shopping carts. Garbage. From top to the bottom, garbage. Frozen pizza, popsicles, Pop-Tarts. Ain't nothing but sugar and just junk every time. Matter of fact, it's a challenge. We're about to be on stamps refresh time, okay? They might get refreshed on Friday or Saturday. Go to Walmart on the 1st. Go to Walmart on the 1st of the month. Matter of fact, go in the hood. Bring your gun if you can. If you're allowed to, bring your weapon, concealed carry. Don't get deleted out there messing with these people. Go to Walmart, Target, Food Lion, Food City, wherever you, Wegmans. Go there. Don't go to Wegmans. Go to Walmart on the 1st, and you're going to see garbage in people's carts. Then they'll say, "Oh, we got a food desert. What you want? Some Fruit Loops, some Ding Dong, some Ho Hos." Tell me some. Oh, if we had a grocery store, we could eat better. When you have a grocery store, you eat garbage. You eat total garbage. You go right past the produce section. It won't be nothing green, all brown. Matter of fact, it won't be brown. It'll be all blue, red, green, blue, all kind of colors in your boxes of garbage. Kool-Aid, dumb stuff, soda, Mountain Dew. I'm triggered. I'm triggered. I'm sorry. I apologize. But seriously, you gotta treat your things right. You can't treat places like garbage in your community and expect to have nice things in your community. So if you get caught stealing, looting, robbing, 1,000 lashes instantly. 1,000 right in the street. I want the whole hood to watch because you can't do that. You know where I live? It's a nice area. I can leave my whole car on outside and anybody going to take it. Where I live right now, I can leave my door open in the front. Like literally not just unlocked, but open. Anybody coming in. When I was out Virginia, out Portsmouth, there's no way I would ever leave my door open. People kind of like when I'm going on a rant. I'm gonna get to the videos in a minute. But I remember when I first left the hood, so to speak, and I'd be at girls' houses, and I would go to their house, and we come in. I lock the top, the bottom. I lock all the locks. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, you don't do this? I'm locking like every lock. Boom, 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 boom. What are you doing? I mean, that's just what you do. But it's not always like that. But you got to do stuff like that in these areas. Anyway, let me get to some more videos here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I ain't leaving my car on all night. I ain't wasting my gas. But I could literally leave my keys in my car. Leave them in the car. Anybody go mess with it. Door open, like physically open. Anybody coming inside. Anybody gonna steal from me. No, nothing. It's all good. But in the hood, here's what I do. And a lot of you guys have never heard this before. I'm gonna tell you right now. In the hood, you don't want people to know your pattern of entering and leaving your home. You want to try to leave at a certain time where ain't nobody outside. When you pull up to your house, you don't want guys to be hanging out outside close because they can see that you went inside your house. You kind of want to ride by a little bit. When you park, you got to back up because you might got to leave very quickly. When you get a TV, break the box down. Do not leave a box outside your crib. A TV box, don't do that. Get your mail all the time. If you're going to leave on a vacation and you got a mailbox that can be seen from the outside, have somebody come get your mail because if your mail is coming out, they know you ain't home. I don't know. Maybe it's me, maybe it's not. If you're going on a vacation, leave your car outside, parked in front. Don't put it in your garage. Leave all your lights on so they think you're home. But when I say that to some people, they're like, you got to do all that? Yeah, you got to do all that. And let me get to some videos here so I don't go too far down the whole thing. you go to the house through the window? Yeah, that might be a good idea. Go through the window so don't nobody see you come in or out. But let me get some videos. This whole thing is a mess. The people in Philly, they all need to get locked up forever. Don't come home anymore. Do not come home. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go. And we're going to load up a few videos here from Philly. And again, there was a police shooting. The guy had the charge dropped against him. And then they decided to go out there and steal stuff from Lululemon and the Apple Store as a result. Dumb stuff, idiotic stuff. All right, let's watch. And there was an influencer named Meatball. This rotund young lady. I'm not calling her Meatball. That's her little nickname. She was recording a lot of this stuff. I think they wound up arresting her. So this is Meatball right here. Let's put her on the screen.
Must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Yes. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat. Everybody must eat.
Now, liquor store action. So nothing says I'm upset about a police shooting than looting a liquor store. I mean, hey, bread and circus, get your drugs and alcohol. A lot of these people that are selling the alcohol probably want to drink it and do nothing else. Just get drunk all day. And before you know it, they're going to be right there on Kensington, shooting up, getting high with all the other fiends out there. That's how it starts. When you have this energy of non-production, just wanting to engage in vice, then you can find yourself in the place where all you do is engage in vice, and then the vice begins to have you. You don't enjoy the vice enjoys you. That's your drug addicts. So big, what's that? Hennessy or something right there? I don't drink none of that type of liquor, so I don't even know what that is. So now they're going to the Apple Store. I mean, you got to be the biggest moron. I mean, you're not necessarily playing with a full deck if you're stealing anyway. But at Apple Store, trying to steal stuff from the Apple Store, they're going to see what happens to the devices when you steal them from an Apple Store, when you steal them in general.
This is crazy. Oh my God. Put that shit.
So did you hear that? They were trying to get the phones to stop making. The phones were going up. There was an alarm on the phone because they were stolen. They're trying to pour liquids on the devices to get them to stop. I mean, you're dealing with people that have IQ, the IQ of a raisin.
Oh my God. Put that shit. Oh shit. Look, the girl laughing back there. She think it's a joke. Look, she laughing. Y'all throw that chicken up here on my mom. Yo, what are y'all doing? We don't got nothing to do with this.
So that's Meatball getting arrested. And they got her. All right. So that's her getting arrested. There you have it. There's more video here, though. But yeah, I mean, you're dealing with some of the biggest idiots in the world. You're going to, first of all, film yourself. You're going to film yourself stealing. I mean, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You know, people talking about, oh, the so-and-so told on me, so-and-so snitched on me. My man, nobody snitched on you. Nobody told on you. You literally went to the Apple Store and recorded yourself stealing. You got the device with your fingerprints on it. You broke into the store on camera with your phone on live on your own Instagram. You got fingerprints on the devices. It's a slam dunk. When they go to court, they ain't got to do nothing. All they got to do is say, look, all they got to do is just push the button on the machine to play the video. That's you right there stealing. Then they're going to show evidence of the device with your fingerprints on it. They're going to show you stealing the device. Then they're going to have the device with your fingerprints on it, and that's it. But the question is, will they actually get punished for their crimes? The evidence is already right there. The evidence is clear as day. But are they going to go to the penitentiary? Will they go to jail at all? Will it be any penalty? That's the question. And that is where the problem lies. When there's no penalty for these actions, they could just do whatever they want to do. They'll keep on doing it. And you're going to have a bunch of poverty, neglect, and blight as a result. You know what's happening right now? Let me just, before I get to some more videos, you know what's happening right now? The black community, especially, what's happening is a lot of us live in urban inner cities. We are being pushed out of the urban inner city to way far BFE. I'm talking about middle of nowhere, just out, far as far can be. Small towns, like not even necessarily suburbs, like old suburbs, rundown stuff, no infrastructure of a city, just far away. A half hour outside, ain't no more downtown Atlanta, ain't no more downtown Houston, ain't no more New York City, ain't no more New York City. The Bronx is going to be like Manhattan. Oh yeah, Brooklyn is already pretty much right there. Gentrification, yeah. You do stuff like this is what happens. Don't cry about it. You could be living in Baltimore by the time they get done with you in New York City. You see the migrants. Look, the migrants are getting, if the migrants are getting precedent over 95-year-old veterans in a nursing home, how about you, Mr. Unproductive, stealing, looting, carrying on, smoking weed, smoking crack? How about you? What's going to happen to you? You're going to be on the street in Kensington shooting up drugs, or you're going to be way out in Lancaster or somewhere trying to rustle up horses with the Amish. But anyway, I'm getting triggered. Let's go to the next video.
Security running.
Oh shit, I saw it.
Yeah, next. Got one.
So that was the iPhone video. Now, here is Lululemon. Now, some are going to be upset at the officer roughing that guy up, but that's exactly how guys get beat up. They're doing the wrong thing. I advocate for a certain level of aggression from the police. I don't mind the officer slamming you on the ground, punch you in the face one time. I'm not saying beat you to death, but hey, give him a little bit of toughening up. When you want to be kid gloves, do whatever. That is not effective when you're talking about trying to fight crime, in my humble opinion. And this kind of environment, you can't go in there soft. And nobody wants to be around these kind of individuals. That's why anytime a black person become successful, the first thing we do, immediately leave this kind of environment, leave these kind of people behind. I said it before. It's like, look, the black community is toast. Look, either you're going to be going forward or not. If you're not going forward, if you're going to be doing this, then you're going to perish. And they're going to send you way out BFE, nowhere. Ain't going to be no more Philadelphia. You're not going to have access to the city. They're not going to play around with you. The rent is already getting very high. You need to pay $2,000 for a nice, decent apartment in a place like Atlanta. When I was a kid, Atlanta was like the black mecca. Inexpensive homes were dirt cheap with nice neighborhoods. That's going away. You're going to be Stone Mountain. You're going to be way, way, way far away with no city infrastructure, far, far, far away from the city. If you do want to come to this city, the police are going to be on you, white on rice. They're going to be on you. So when you get pulled over in the city, oh, I'm black. Yeah, because y'all don't even stay around here no more. You're not even going to be in the city anymore. All right. What you doing in Buckhead, sir? You live way out in Athens. What you doing in Buckhead, my man? Why are you in Philly in Center City? You live in Lancaster. You living in Jersey. Why are you in Center City, sir? And it's going to be black cops doing it to you.
Yeah.
Now, here's a Foot Locker. They're loading up SUVs with stolen clothing. Yeah, the first thing we do, we're totally done. We're away from that. We don't want nothing to do with it. It's a shame. It really is. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now, the looting started in Center City, but it continued throughout other parts of Philly. So it wasn't just right there in that one location. It was all over the city. All right. But that's what's going to happen, man. People are getting pushed out. I'm seeing it right here, like Chattanooga is the same way. You're getting pushed out. Black folks that want to do right, we're going to be in the suburbs. We're going to be in the city. Black folks that don't want to do right, they're going to get pushed out. And you got the Hispanics coming. Here's a stat for you right quick. There's a school in Timmy, I'm using the Philly accent for the Philly stuff, so I'm glad you recognize that. But anyway, in Chattanooga, there's a school downtown, real hood school called, what's it called? Howard, I think it's called. At one point, it was 100% black. 100% black. Now, 75% black. What's the other percentage? Hispanic. At a certain point, it's going to go to be all Hispanic because everybody black is going to be kicked out. You got these projects down there, these old rundown homes that'll all get torn down. You got Californians coming. You got people from other countries coming, expats, immigrants coming. You got people like me from other parts of the country, Virginia, Georgia, they coming, Floridians coming. Where are you going to go? We're going to drive the prices up. We're going to buy these old beat down houses with collapsing roofs. We're going to buy them up. We are going to fix them up, sell them for $400,000, $500,000. It's going to be a steal to a Californian. Where are you going to go? That's happening right now in Bozeman, Montana. Like I was saying, a lot of Californians are going out there to Montana. Bozeman, Montana. The video I was watching, the guy was saying, it's hard to find a house in Bozeman, Montana for under $1 million. $1 million in Montana. People ain't ready, man, but I'm getting triggered, so I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, it's going to be, they're going to be toast. They are going to be toast. Now, we got more to get to. What I want to get to right now, I want to get to, the German family. Now, here you have a model family, right? Look, some are going to say, well, ABL, you don't like asylum seekers. I'm not against true, actual asylum seekers necessarily. If you're following the law, like let's say, for example, you file for asylum in your country of origin, and then you're able to come here legally that way. All right, cool. However, if you force your way into the country physically by coming to the border, going through razor wire, hopping the wall, cutting a hole in the wall, going through a tunnel, and you pop up in Brownsville, Texas, like, hey, I'm an asylum seeker. I want to go to New York City. Huh? If you file for asylum the proper way without breaking into the country first, I'm not really mad at you. My problem is when people come into the country, just bogart their way in and do whatever they want to do. That's my issue. That is my issue. It's simple. Immigrants, it's all good. if you do things the right way and by the book. And unfortunately, doing things the right way and doing things by the book is not really it's not really prioritized right now. It's not prioritized. Look, we get very high inflation, so you're kind of incentivized. Look, the inflation is high, and it's not really a crime to steal in certain parts of the country. So you're incentivized to steal. Am I saying you should? No. But the government says, hey, just go about it that way. Be a criminal. Steal. I don't care how much they incentivize it. I'm not going to do it. They incentivize smoking crack too, but I'm not going to do that. My point is that they are incentivizing it. They're giving you a reason to steal. Rather than doing things the right way, they say do it the wrong way. It's crazy. And the world we live in right now is crazy. And this family is doing things the right way, and they have been doing it the right way for the past 15 years, and now they're facing deportation. Now, let me find the video right quick, and if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Let's watch the Fox News video because I think they got like a little interview on there. That might be a better situation. Let's check it out. All right, hopefully it's not an ad right here because ain't nobody got time for the ads. And I think there might be. Let's watch it right quick. No ad? Yeah, it's an ad. We're going to get through that in a moment. Oh, yeah, Joe Biden giving out crack pipes. That's right, exactly. They're incentivizing it. So they're making crack legal basically by not enforcing the laws against it, and then they're giving you crack pipes for free as well.
2000.
So the message is, hey, man, smoke crack. It's no problem. And again, that goes back to what I was saying before. Bread and circus will give you crack, meth, heroin, whatever you want for the low. Just do that and enjoy it. Don't rise up. Don't worry about news and politics and voting. Don't worry about that. Just smoke your crack and your heroin and just be happy. Watch football, watch Netflix, get fat. If you're fat and obese and high on drugs, how are you going to fight?
2008, a family fled from Germany to Tennessee after they were fined for homeschooling their kids in Germany. 5 years later, their asylum claim was denied, claiming they weren't persecuted. But they were told their stay was indefinite. Now, after 15 years of making the United States their beloved home, they are facing deportation. Uva and Hannelore Ramke join us along with Kevin Bowden, an attorney with the U.S. Homeschool Legal Defense Association. Thank you all for being here. Uva, let me start with you. You claimed asylum because homeschooling is illegal in Germany, correct? And you've been homeschooling here in the United States ever since.
That's correct, yes. And we were actually granted asylum first by the immigration judge here in the United States.
And you and Hannelore, you made home in Tennessee. You've thrown roots down there. And when did this notice come that your family is going to be deported?
So a little bit of context. In 2008, I believe, or 07, might have been 08 or 07, one of those years, they sought asylum in the country and it was granted by a judge. In 2013 or 2012, the Obama administration appealed the decision. The Sixth Circuit Court upheld the Obama's appeal and reversed the decision that granted them asylum. So their asylum status was stricken away back then in 2013. But they were told you could stay here indefinitely, just checking with us every 6 months to a year. So they had done that since 2013. When they went back in this month, September 2023, all of a sudden they were rejected and they were told to get their passports ready and go back to Germany. Now, understand, I think 2 of their kids were born here, so they can't get deported. 2 more, or maybe, well, yeah, I think 2 more of the kids are married. So I'm not quite sure if they got kids themselves. If the 2 married kids have their own kids, Now they got anchor babies, so they probably won't get deported. So that leaves the parents and the 3 other kids, at least, who could be deported back to Germany.
This month on the 6th, we were there in Knoxville at the office, and and then we got this notification, the order for removal.
So Kevin, help me out here. We're seeing record numbers of illegals race across our southern border, most of which are loosely claiming some sort of a need for asylum. Yet your clients clearly, because of their beliefs, want to homeschool in a country that allows it, and Germany does not. How to square that circle for me?
Well, thanks, B. Thanks for having me. What I can say is the Romeika family has entered the country lawfully. They've been here lawfully for 15 years.
Yes.
They want to stay here lawfully, and there's a way to make that happen. So this is not a case other than a family following the rule of law, which is what we have in the United States, as you well know, and wanting to continue to follow the rule of law to stay here. And so the Biden administration can make that happen. The agencies can make it happen, and we're asking them to simply do just that.
Uwe, why you guys? Why were you chosen for deportation at this point? What are they telling you?
Well, the thing is, they did not tell us anything. We don't really know why. We wondered that ourselves because we cannot understand.
Hannelore, if you were returned to Germany and you wanted to continue to homeschool, what would happen?
And the laws there hadn't changed, and so we would face the same persecution as we did back then.
So homeschooling is totally illegal in Germany? You can't do it?
Yes, it is illegal.
Now, fun fact, what I was told is that the ban on homeschooling came from the funny mustache guy. It's one of the few things that they had from back during that time they still have on the books, and they enforce it. Because when they were trying to homeschool the kids in Germany, they got fined like $10,000 or something like that. You cannot homeschool your kids in Germany.
It is illegal. How does that not qualify as an asylum claim, Kevin, as their attorney? I mean, how can you fight this at this point?
Well, the original immigration judge did find that it was, there was a proper asylum claim. They found that the Romeika family did have a well-founded fear of persecution based on their, participation in a particular social category, that being homeschoolers. The Obama administration appealed that to the Board of Immigration Appeals. That appeal court agreed with them, as did the Sixth Circuit, and the Supreme Court denied it. So, we agree with you. We think this is, in fact, an asylum case. We do think they have a well-founded fear. As we testified, our organization testified to that back when this was ongoing before the trial court. And I mean, I can tell you today, I talked to families today that have fear in Germany, and the fight there, the persecution there is very real, as it is, today as it was 15 years ago.
Well, Uwe and Hannelore, I hope you keep us posted. I mean, we're pulling for you. You've clearly got a real good attorney here. We wish you the best in this fight. And you came here the right way. You want to stay here for the right reasons. Our government should have your back in that process. So please do keep us posted. God bless you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So, yeah, that's what's happening. So, very interesting. You could come into the country illegally, southern border, do whatever you want to do, and it's not really a problem, right?
Thank you very much. By the way, thank you.
Okay, it's not really a problem. You're coming through the country, coming to the border illegally, and say, yeah, I'm claiming asylum, and then you don't go to court for your date, and you just stay in the country. It's no problem. But you want to do things the right way, you're not incentivized to do it. Now, if you were to just if that same family right there was to come through the southern border illegally, then it wouldn't be a problem. Them being white does not help either, but you could be white and do the same thing, because you're getting quite a few Ukrainians and Russians in New York that are coming to the country illegally as well. Okay, so they could do the same thing, come to the country illegally, don't go to court, don't follow the law, and you won't have any problems. But you see, they're a law-abiding, tax-paying family, and they're doing things the right way. So they don't want to go about it that direction, which is honorable from my point of view. It's very honorable. But what do you get for being honorable in today's society? Sometimes you don't get much. Sometimes you get punished for being honorable. It's crazy, but that's just kind of how things are, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now we got to talk about the speaking about Ukraine and Russia and Germany and whatnot. How about those good old Canadians honoring the Nazi? Now this guy, listen, it's so weird how people in the West, a lot of your far leftist liberals, will call anybody a Nazi. They'll call me a Nazi. Me. It's like, me? Okay, how am I a Nazi? For where? I've not been to Germany ever. I don't have any swastika tattoos on my forehead or nothing like that. I'm just not that kind of guy. I've not been to Germany, Ukraine, Russia, no Eastern Bloc countries, nowhere. I'm just a regular dude in America doing my thing, right? Meanwhile, they support guys like Boneface, who has a body full of tattoos, swastika, doing the Sikh Heil, Slava Ukrainia. They support guys like Christopher Polehouse with tattoos all on his face, the swastika necklace on his neck. You support the Azov battalion in Ukraine, who are Nazis. You support Ukrainian separatists who are Nazis. And you honor a 98-year-old Waffen SS veteran from Ukraine. Talking about, he was fighting for Ukrainian independence. Okay. Well, look, if you were in Germany fighting for Germany during World War II, you probably were in that group as well. So do you get recognized? Like, there's no grace given to them. But if you're Ukrainian, all of a sudden it's all good. If you're Ukrainian fighting against Russia, it doesn't matter. You could be a Nazi and it's fine. You could have been a Nazi back then during the funny mustache guy's reign. Or you could be a Nazi now during the high-heeled comedian's reign in Ukraine. It doesn't matter. You're given the pass by the West. If you so much as say men are born as men and they cannot become women, it doesn't matter what color you are. If you're not a Ukrainian, you're considered to be a Nazi. And you're somehow evil and hateful and should get locked up, doxxed, arrested, stoned, all that kind of stuff. This tells you how dumb all this stuff is. You literally gave a standing ovation to an actual real-life Nazi, Waffen SS, and he volunteered. No conscription. I want to join, be part of Waffen SS. They literally hunted down Jewish families and deleted them. That guy gets a round of applause. It's like, what? For real? Is that what we doing? But I'm the bad guy for saying that boys are born as boys and girls are born as girls? Huh? So let me see if I can find the clip right quick. Let's see, because it was crazy. It was totally crazy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is Al Jazeera English. Watch this. Now, what happened was, what they say is that the Canadian Speaker of the House, Anthony Rota, he invited this guy, 98-year-old Nazi veteran, Waffen SS, because he was fighting for Ukrainian independence during World War II. Obviously, if you're fighting in Russia, let's put two and two together. Oh, I didn't know who he was, so they went ahead and fired him. Or I don't know what the real term is. They fired him. He's no longer the speaker. But he was the scapegoat. He was the fall guy, obviously. Obviously the fall guy.
We have here in the chamber today Ukrainian Canadian World veteran from the Second World War who fought the Ukrainian independence against the Russians and continues to support the troops today, even at his age of 98.
So Yaroslav Honka, that's him. Now watch this. He had a little flashback right there. Hold on, watch this. Almost kind of waving a little bit too extended right there. A little bit too extended, sir. Oh, I'm messing up. Hold on.
Speaker
Let me get it
has
together.
taken the fall
Today.
Little bit too extended right there, boss. Little teeny bit too extended. So there's Trudeau and there is Zelensky side by side, standing up, applauding a Nazi right there in Parliament.
He's a Ukrainian hero, a Canadian hero, and we thank him for all his service.
So the Jewish groups revealed that Hunker was no hero. I mean, it didn't take a Jewish group to reveal the obvious. I mean, come on. He fought for the feared Ukrainian 4th Waffen Grenadier Division of the SS. Grenadier? Founded by the primary architect of the Holocaust, Heinrich Himmler. The unit was responsible for the mass murder of innocent civilians with a level of brutality and malice that is unimaginable.
I wish to make a brief statement.
So they made him apologize, but really, he was the fall guy. Like I said, he was the fall guy. There would have been no problem unless there would have been no problem if not for the public outcry against the Nazi.
I wish to apologize to the House. No one, including you, my fellow parliamentarians, or the Ukraine delegation, was privy to my remarks prior to their delivery.
Now, Zelensky is Jewish and Ukrainian, so you telling me that he didn't know who this guy was? For real? He has no idea about his own family's history in his own home country? He didn't know what was going on back then? I mean, I'm just not trying to hear it. And the guy Rota did resign as speaker. So that's what's going on. Again, you could be a Nazi and it's totally fine as long as you're Ukrainian. If you are, or like really, if you are an American going to Ukraine, fighting for Ukraine, and you're a Nazi, it's fine. But if you're a Nazi just randomly in America going to Philadelphia City Center, you know, picking up some rain boots or something, then now we got a problem. That's not, we don't like that. That same guy can go to Ukraine and do the same thing that he would want to do in America, and it's totally fine. Yeah, it's all good. So the hypocrisy, the compartmentalizing is real, it's ridiculous, and it's pretty cringe. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, excuse me. Let's have your man Justin Castro, a.k.a. Trudeau, let's have him resign. Have you guys not seen that comparison? Because I said that little joke in my video about what's going on. And have you guys not seen how much Fidel Castro looks like Trudeau? I mean, now, I'm not going to say that they are father and son. But if they are father and son, that'd be no surprise. Okay, that's no surprise. Because, I mean, good night, man. The resemblance is uncanny. These guys are whole doppelgangers. Okay, now let's look at some pictures. All right, give me 1 second. Let's cue these up right quick. All right. So here's one. Castro and a younger Trudeau. Look at the faces, man. I mean, come on. Let's get Mario on the line. Is Maury Povich still living? Let's get Mario on the line and let's actually bring an end to this. All right, let's bring an end to the whole situation and figure out what's going on, because the resemblance, hey man, I'm not buying that this guy's not his father. All right. And I wouldn't be surprised at all. Now, here's something else. That's them, a little bit older. All right. I mean, come on, man. Look at this. If they are not father and son, there's some kind of relation. That's his uncle, his cousin, his something going on. And then there you go yet again. Come on, man. Like, you're not fooling me one bit. You are not going to fool me. You are the father. You are the father. Yeah, dig up Jerry Springer. Bring him back, man. RIP to the homie. Bring him back. Let's get him on the line and figure out. Let's get down to the bottom of it and figure out what's going on. All right. Hold on. Robert P. says the nose and Margaret's blushing when asked about Castro. Is that his mom? Margaret? Uh-oh. Hey. Them secrets, man. Them secrets be crazy. I was online reading, and some of these celebrities have crazy secrets. I think Kurt Franklin, the gospel singer, y'all know Kurt Franklin, Stomp. His mother did not reveal who his actual father was. I think that's what happened. Let me just make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, so he just found his birth father after 50 years of living. 50 years of being around and not knowing. He just found his birth father. I mean, your mom don't know who the father was? Like, she couldn't just point you in the right direction? All right, so sometimes it's like that. And you might grow up thinking that your father is your father, and it's not that way. Kerry Washington also, I think, went through the same thing. Kerry Washington was on that show. I didn't watch the show. What was that? Was it Scandal? I never seen that show a day in my life, but I know she was on there. She was also in Django Unchained as Jimmy Foxx's wife. But I think her parents did not tell her that her father was a sperm donor in reality. All right. Let me see if I can find that right quick. Yeah. This is it right here. So Kerry Washington recently discovered that her father is not her father. All right. That there was actually a sperm donor because her father could not have children. I mean, imagine being like fully grown and just now finding that out. So Trudeau might be the same thing. The mom might have had a little bit of a time with Castro at a certain point. Might have been in Cuba, Argentina, somewhere, who knows? And then all of a sudden, boom. Now we have Trudeau, a world leader. Why not? They're all related anyway. A lot of these leaders from different countries are related anyway, especially in Europe. Different countries got connections with people. So why not? All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Yeah, Genghis Khan, of course. Of course. Shout out to Genghis Khan. Now, let's continue here. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover. Bob Menendez, I mean, we all know what's going on with that. Quid pro quo. Hold on, I'm gonna show that briefly. Bob Menendez. I think what's going on with Bob Menendez is that his wife is the ringleader. So briefly, I'm gonna cover this. Let's see if I can find a video because it was crazy. My man had gold bars in the house, a bunch of cash, a little bit of everything. They might show it here.
Senator Bob Menendez is vowing to put up a fight and resist calls for his resignation. In his first public comment since being indicted on sweeping federal corruption charges, the New Jersey Democrat portrayed himself as the victim of a conspiracy. Scott McFarland is on Capitol Hill with more on this story. Scott, good morning to you. He seemed to really double down yesterday.
Hey, Gail, good morning. And he faces quite a week ahead. He makes his first court appearance tomorrow in New York, and he has vowed to return here to Washington to work. All his calls for him to resign are increasing.
I recognize this will be the biggest fight yet.
A defiant Senator Bob Menendez showed no signs of backing down Monday.
I firmly believe that when all the facts are presented, not only will I be exonerated, but I still will be the New Jersey's senior senator.
In an indictment filed last week, prosecutors allege Menendez used his influence on the Foreign Relations Committee to secretly aid the government of Egypt and try to thwart the criminal prosecution of a friend in exchange for bribes, including a Mercedes convertible, bars of gold, and more than $500,000 in cash, some stuffed in congressional jackets bearing his name.
I mean, so there's the loot right there. There's a loot. You see, you got the Mercedes-Benz convertible, nice car. It's almost like my car. I got a Mustang. I'm not that fancy to get a Mercedes-Benz convertible. That's nice. And that car was given to his wife. Then you have the gold bullion, the gold bars, and you got wads of cash. He had $480,000 in cash stuffed in pockets, under the bed, random stuff. And these are allegedly bribes from Egyptian government officials. They were doing all kinds of stuff. There was a deal to get halal meat into the country, like an exclusive halal meat contract. They were trying to get insight into the Egyptian consulate, just random stuff.
Name. On Monday, the senator didn't answer questions, but said he's long hoarded cash.
For 30 years, I have withdrawn thousands of dollars in cash from my personal savings account, which I have kept for emergencies and because of the history of my family facing confiscation in Cuba.
CBS News.
Bring up the Hispanic card. I'm Hispanic. You know, I'm being persecuted because racism. My man, at the end of the day, I see a whole white man right here. Let's not play the whole race card, but I digress.
Analyst Ricky Kleeman.
It's always risky for a defendant to say something, anything, that could ultimately be used against him or her. In this case, the risk, however, for Senator Menendez seemed to him to be greater about keeping his own seat.
Congressman Andy Kim announced he'll run against Menendez for his Senate seat next year.
He is not someone that is able to represent New Jersey at this moment.
Now, I'm going to pause right here because I'm not saying that it's wrong to have gold and cash. It's actually a pretty good thing. I probably wouldn't keep cash around because cash is kind of trash, because your cash, if you just got cash just sitting around, it's going to just lose value. I'd rather have that invested. Having gold is good because that's going to appreciate in value. Gold is always going to be a good thing. Having actual gold in your hand, gold, silver, precious metals like that, that's always good to have. But the problem is these were bribes, allegedly, and they had fingerprints from the co-defendants who were the Egyptian officials. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem, that it was given to him for nefarious purposes, allegedly. But to have gold in your house, great thing. Silver, gold, precious metals. Now, if it was me, they'd be in the safe somewhere, locked up. I ain't gonna have a just gold bullion on my nightstand. I don't care where I live, how safe it is. That's not very comfy to me. But cash and wads of cash laying around, that's not a thing I would do because you're gonna lose value right away.
And I believe that New Jersey deserves better.
Menendez, his wife Nadine, and 3 New Jersey businessmen named in the indictment all face significant prison time if convicted. A trial is highly unlikely this year, but it could run right up against the November 2024 election. Nate, Senator Menendez is up. His seat is up in that election.
So there you have it. That's what's going on about Menendez. And the whole thing about him being Hispanic. See, he's trying to say that the reason why he's being tried this way is because he's Hispanic. Let me see if I can find that right quick. Let me get to the calls and super chats. Just right quick. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Bob Menendez. This is Daily Mail. These ads are crazy. Now, watch this. Bob Menendez says he's been charged because he's a Latino American. Democrat refuses to resign over shocking gold bar and Egyptian military bribery claims and tears into a smear campaign. My man, just because you came from Cuba means nothing. At the end of the day, you're still a white male. And even if you were not a white male, the race card is bogus to use. The race card is whack. Okay. If anything, you just don't have enough clout or enough usefulness. Now, if your last name was Biden, it don't matter where you came from. You could come from Cuba or Wilmington, Delaware. It don't really matter. You'd be just fine right now. You could have a pistol. You could have whatever. You could have crack, a pistol, whatever you want. It'd be all good. But you, not so much. You're not really on that level of a Joe Robinette Biden. That's not you. Hunter Crack Smoke Biden. That's not you. Now, his wife. Before we get to the super chats and everything, his wife. Because one thing they didn't say in that clip was that his wife got a higher bail amount than him. His bill was $100,000. Hers was $250,000. Why the difference? Well, remember, this is all about robbery allegations with the Egyptian government. All right. Now, his wife is named Nadine Arslan. What that sound like to you? Huh? So that's her right there. Okay, regular white lady or whatever. No. Nadine Arslanian Menendez. That sounds like Kardashian, don't it? All right, let's get into it. So let's look at her background. Now, she was born in Lebanon to Armenian parents who fled during Lebanese Civil War. And they came to the U.S. when she was a child and settled in New York. Now, maybe one of her cousins back in Middle East, Lebanon, which is right there, Lebanon, you got right there on that far part, what's that, Mediterranean or whatever? Or I don't know what that is. But you got Lebanon, well, what's that, Red Sea? Anyway, Lebanon, Syria, Israel, Egypt's right there. It's not far away. Maybe some of her cousins are like, hey, you got your husband right here. He's in power. Let's make some money together. And then through her husband is able to get enriched, which helps her get enriched. Because remember, the Mercedes-Benz was gifted to her. I think she is the mastermind here. And her husband is a patsy. He's the guy that has the power, and she is a connect. That's how that works. All right. I know that Lebanon and Egypt are different, but it's not that far apart. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if you have somebody in Nigeria and then somebody in Ghana or Cameroon or Burkina Faso, these are not Nigeria, but it's not that far away. Just like South Africa, you got Eswatini, you got Lesotho, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia. They're not South Africa, but it's not that far away. So it's the region is what I'm talking about. It makes sense to me because why else is her bill almost triple his bill? Let's put it together, use our brains. Anyway, that's what's happening right now with Bob Menendez and his wife, because they both got pinched, by the way. They both got arrested. She pled guilty, so did he, and they both had to post bail, but her bail was higher than his. Now, if it was just Bob doing some stuff, then it would just be him getting, like, you're not seeing Melania Trump get charged or anything. You're seeing Donald Trump. I digress. Super chat's on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. And the number to call is 434-658. There it is, 434-658-1220. Thank you to Randy Dale Franklin, who says, my question is when are... Okay, let's try this one more time. My question is, when are we not? It's not even about race. I don't know what that means. When are we as a nation going to wake up and stop standing for this nonsense? I'm proud I voted for Trump. I'm gonna vote for him again. The looting is embarrassing to us. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. Michael Critchlow says, Elon Musk is headed to the U.S.-Mexico border soon. What can he really do? You think he has plans for something? He can't do anything. He'll just visit. He'll go just to say he went, just to see what's going on, to see it for himself, but he can't do anything. Speaking about Elon Musk going to the border, he can't do anything in reality. All right. Shout out to Lancelot, who said, thank you, ABL, for your service, mate. I appreciate you. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, the results are in. Virginia Beach is ranked #1 for having the worst drivers by city in America, according to Motor Trend, based on insurance data. You know what? I will say that you're right. I was in Virginia over the weekend, and the drivers are really bad. I'm talking about you'll be driving on the interstate or just stop and cut across lanes for no reason. The drivers are really, really, really bad. It makes me appreciate Atlanta drivers. When I came back to Atlanta, when I got off the plane, it was like the driving was night and day different and improved tenfold. The driving in Virginia is awful. Awful. But thank you for that. Thank you to F Ranger Xbox, who says, make water cannons great again. Exactly. Thank you to Nick Corio, who says, what the West has done with sending money to a country and by association with Nazis is a slap in the face to all those who fought against them in World War II. Then Trudeau honors an actual Nazi. I wonder why the Russians are angry. Exactly. F Ranger Xbox says, you can eat bugs at the government store. Be happy. Thank you to Monique Price, who says, the looters need a 7-Eleven seek treatment. Yes. Get the big cane and just beat him in the back of the head with it. Why not, man? Because don't nobody got time for the nonsense. No time. But if it was me, I get a whole whip, 1,000 lashes, boom, right there on the spot. Nobody has time for the nonsense. But let's get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And thank you to Auntie J.A. Matias. Hello, Auntie J.A. Matias. I appreciate you. Let's get to the calls. But yeah, Virginia drivers, terrible. Atlanta drivers, listen, Atlanta drivers, it was like being at a NASCAR event. Not necessarily because of the speed, but because of the skill compared to Virginia. Oh my goodness. I was like, what in the world is going on here? I mean, people just in the middle of the road, just refusing to push forward. You got a green light, they'll let the brake go and then don't drive forward. It's like, what are we doing? Okay, honk. Like, let's get out the way. But anyway, the number to call 434-658-1220. I'm afraid the call is all good. Yeah, Chad says, well, the driving in Virginia is bad because of all the transplant sailors. That's probably it. I'm seeing quite a few soccer moms out there doing badly, and their Kia Sorrentos or whatever that SUV is they got. that SUV they got is crazy. You know, it don't really go too well. You got bad Utah drivers. Now, are these Utahns, if that's the correct synonym, or is that Californian expats? 272, you're on line on speaker 2.
Hi. Oh my gosh. How is that possible? I kept calling and your phone service was just going nuts. I got to turn you off so I don't. I'm amazed I got through.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I'm glad you got on.
I'm chewing up time. I'm chewing up time. The video of the Philly rampaging type thing, if you look through that video, you're going to see the one cop do a chokehold on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you watch it, you'll see it. He does a chokehold. But prior to the video, I'm sorry, not making a hard statement. It looked like roaches scurrying when you turn the light on, how they run.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm sorry. Okay, that one's done. I actually got a list, just to do it real quick. Okay, now I live 2 blocks away from the United States' oldest brewery. It's in Pottsville, PA, England. Molson beat us out by a few years. Oof. But, yeah, I mean, we lost our giant 5 years ago. We had a giant in town, and we lost it. It's because we have a heavy medical city. A lot of hospitals, a lot of outbuildings. That just draws the drug addicts, and the homeless to us. They're all over the place here. I'm in a podunk city. I don't even think it's a Class B city. I think it's a Class C city. It's a small one. But we got them. I don't go out at night. I don't trust it. The police are trying, but anywho, lost our giant a few years ago. We lost our Rite Aid. Rite Aid. I don't know if you guys have them down south. Rite Aid's pretty big.
Well, Rite Aid.
Used to be big.
We had some, but they actually went bankrupt as an entire company. So
yeah.
Not
totally. Now they've gone through bankruptcy a few times. They closed my local one that's a block and a half away from me. They closed that. Thing's gone. So I lost that. Okay, that one's done. You were talking about the illegal immigrants and how it affects the legal immigrants.
Yes.
I worked for a company years ago, and this person was from Morocco. The amount of money he spent 20 years ago was close to $10,000. He's infuriated by this because he would see the jumpers then that would come illegally across, infuriated him to death. He was from Morocco, great guy. I'll let that go. But yeah, I mean, he was infuriated at that. I spent all this money to do it legal. I learned the language. I know the Constitution better than the average American. So, yeah, that's just crud that we're just letting them cross the border. It's not fair to them. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I saw a comment, and it said, "No Nazi dreamers." I forget who did that. And I'm going, really? Just because somebody's from Germany doesn't make him a Nazi. A lot of the German people did not like Nazism. They didn't want it.
Well, I think they're talking about actual Nazis, not just Germans.
It's not how the comment came across. He said, no Nazi dreamers. It was that German family that was trying to be kept here.
Oh, okay. That was the context. Okay, I got it.
That's what it was. That made me mad. Dude, you got to study history. Whoever said it, this Neo something or other. Look at Pol Pot. Look at Mao. Look at Genghis Khan. Look at Stalin. That guy was, you want an evil human being, Stalin was it. He made, I think, Hitler look nice. Stalin was evil. Absolute evil. Okay, that's done. Okay. I am jumping all over the place, and I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it quick. Okay. 20 years ago, and you were going about the economy. 20 years ago, I was a contractor, a general contractor, just doing my thing. But I would notice these excavation contractors that had dump trucks. They had 2 broken down dump trucks. 2 years later, they had 8 brand new ones. Why in the world? How did that change so abruptly? Do the research on that. You'll have a good podcast, whatever segment, looking at that. They had 8 brand new ones. 2 years later, I'm going, what is going on? This is where the economy really warped itself to set this up. But this was set up back in the Potsdam Conference. Okay, that's done. Send that, did that.
Okay, but I got time constraints here, boss. So I got to go ahead and get to some more calls.
Yeah. The Ukraine war was lost in 24 hours, as we did with everybody else. They lost it. It's all lies. It's all the military-industrial complex. Putin has his. We have ours. They're all in cahoots together, including Trump. I'll let that fly. You take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. All right. Very, very good points that were made there. And I got some pictures right quick before we get to the next call. We got some arrests that were made in the whole Philly kerfuffle. Now, you see the general racial makeup. Well, we got a little bit of diversity a little bit of diversity, right? Because why not? We're in 2023. We got to be diverse. We can't just be one race all the time. Let's have some diversity. You got the one white lady right here. And then my man right here. I don't know what kind of race that is, but it's not quite black. But everybody else is of the African-American variety. Very embarrassing. All right, but that's what's going on with the arrest. Now, hopefully we can arrest a lot more. And anyone that did get arrested, let's have them stay behind the wall. How about that? Let's have that go on, and we'll keep on rocking and rolling. All righty. Let's get to some more calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. 406, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Just waiting for Abel.
You're speaking to him right now, boss. What's going on?
I'm calling from Kalispell, Montana. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I'm all old.
You good, boss?
By the way, you guys put out a good show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So what's going on with you, man? What's happening?
Hey, I guess what bothers me is no one has enough balls to point out. I'm just gonna go say it: black culture.
Okay.
These kids out there in the street, they're fatherless. They're running. They're listening to. I used to listen to rap music when I was a young man too. I get it, but what part of them doesn't have a moral code that says this is wrong? And I guess I just want to put more light onto it, because it seems like it's over and over again. I watch the news and it's black kids running around destroying things, and I'm like, I don't get it, man. And someone has to be brave enough to call it out.
Okay. Now,
I'm listening to you, my friend. I'm listening.
Okay. Now, I don't like putting things in that kind of category, the racial category.
I know you
but
don't.
Wait. Let me just talk. I'm not offended at what you're saying, but I don't like doing the whole racial thing because then it becomes tit for tat. Because then what people are going to say then what's going to happen is people are going to say, my man, can I talk? Can I talk, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I need you to not interrupt, please. Now,
copy that.
What happens is it becomes tit for tat. People are going to say, well, whenever I see some transgender on television trying to go into a girl's locker room, there's always some big fat white guy. That's what they're going to say. Whenever I see somebody, messing with little kids or something like that, drag queen story time is always white people bringing their kids there. So they're going to say something like that. So then it becomes tit for tat. So I don't like framing stuff that way because I don't like to have that back and forth with the racial stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
How do I get my point across then, brother, without blowing up the realm?
Well, what are you trying to accomplish? Are you just trying to point a pattern out, or are you trying to fix something? Like, what are you trying to do?
I think, honestly, in my heart, I think it's a pattern, and I can see it.
Okay, so again, you could point the pattern out, but then you're going to get a rebuttal. So then you got to ask yourself, what's the purpose?
I think it's just to bring awareness to it. Like I was adopted, but my mom and dad were married. They stayed together. And that was kind of rare even in my town. I grew up in a small town in Montana. And so that even was rare in my community. But I think it's very important, they're always trying to dissolve the family. And I think it's hurting us as a nation.
I agree with you on that because here's some statistics. Back in 1960, there was the Moynihan Report. And it was written about the black family because at that time, it was like a 20% single parent household rate within the black community, single parent households. And then at the same time, it was about a 5% single parent household rate among whites. Now,
so we were worse at it.
But listen, now you fast forward to 2023, you have a 75% single parent household rate in the black community. So 2 out of every 3 children are born to unmarried parents in the black community, or 3 out of every 4. 3 out of every 4 children are born to unmarried parents. But in the white community, in the white community, it's at 25%. So you guys have a rate that was emergency level for us in 1960. So we're all being affected by it. We're all being affected. So I agree with you when you said that.
Funny thing is my wife ran off with my daughter while I was at work. And I was working out of town doing fiber optics and stuff, and I came home one day and she was gone. So it affects me too, my friend, you know?
Exactly. We're all into that. So I agree.
Can we fix it? Like, what can we do? Like, do we need to whoop some ass, or like, what do you think here, man? I'm at a loss for words.
Man, I don't really know. I think as far as there's a lot of things that we can do, and I don't think we'll be able to solve all of them right now on this phone call. But I think as far as like the family system with you know, marriage and family and kids, a lot of these laws need to get changed, need to get improved. But that's going to be years and years and years of work. There's a lot of things we got to be able to fix. But I think people need to get empowered that can change certain things on a local level, to get certain laws implemented on a federal level, get some laws implemented, because that's going to help change things. And as far as the criminality issue, that needs to get some laws on the books as well. And let's actually enforce the laws. Okay. If you're shoplifting, let's not have that be a slap on the wrist. You know, definitely need to do that. And then as far as all the LGBTQ LMNOP stuff, if influencing children, that should be considered child abuse. And anyone that does that needs to get locked up. If you have a drag queen show, when you allow children there, that should be indecent exposure.
Absolutely, brother.
So I'm thinking about just, we need to have a tighter grip on society, because you're just allowing way too much stuff to go on that should not be going on.
Right. It's just chaos, man. You know, I lived in Los Angeles for 10 years, even from a small town. And we went around, we built high rises and skyscrapers and Major League Baseball stadiums. I'm from a small town in Montana, and I saw it and I was like, oh my God, this is disgusting. I was mortified by it. You know, my sister lives in New York City. She's going through it too, you know.
Right on, man.
It's crazy out there, bro.
I'm with you, man. But thank you for your call. I get to a few more. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
I'll take care. I appreciate your time. Have a good night, Abel.
Abel, that's my name, huh? ABL. I guess it's just, hey, man, just say one thing, Abel. But shout out to you guys for calling. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All righty, let's keep on rocking and rolling. 470, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
LLJ Cool J. Hey, ABL.
What's happening?
Hey, it's Greg from Wild and Wacky Land, where anything can happen anytime. How you doing, sir?
It's all good. How about yourself?
Well, crazy traffic, crime, you name it. I'm trying to survive here in Atlanta. Wow, so much going on. All right, let's begin with Yaroslav Hunka from the 14th Waffen-SS Galician Division, who volunteered in 1943 at age 18. This guy, I think, was actually a Nazi. Not every member of the SS was a Nazi, and I'm not trying to defend the SS. All I'm trying to say is, by 1944, if you could get drafted into the SS. This guy actually was. The Galician Division did commit atrocities against the Poles, and I'm sure they committed atrocities against the SS as well. But as far as the German army soldiers, not all of them were Nazis. You were conscripted as of March 1935 into the German army. If you didn't join the German army by April 1940, to be shot for refusing to join the military. It's called refusal. I remember the exact Nazi term. Refusal. Sorry. I'm tired. I'm doing a lot today.
It's all good, but I mean, I get your point.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, not all German soldiers were Nazis. Not all were going out killing Jews and everything like that. I'm not trying to make defense against, defend the Germans or the Nazis or anything like that by any means. No, there was a lot of soldiers that were conscripted from 1935 on, and if they didn't join the military, they were shot. That didn't automatically make them Nazis. But as far as the SS were concerned, yes, it was a voluntary force until 1944. If you didn't join the Army, the Navy, the Luftwaffe, or whatever, by 1944, you could be sent into the SS, drafted by the SS. I mean, it's just crazy. There were guys that were children, for example, like in the last month or so of the war, were forced into the SS, and they didn't want anything to do with it, but they were forced to fight. They were killed by the Russians when they were captured. So this Yaroslav guy, yeah, as far as he's concerned, I think that was intentional on the part of the Canadian leftists. They knew that he was a Nazi, that he was a member of the SS, the 14th SS Galician Division, and they covered that up. And they figured, well, if we get busted, then we'll just say, oh, it was a mistake. We didn't know that he was a Nazi.
Right.
Like the Washington Post, for example, has done, where they made they produced things, said things about Trump that weren't true, propaganda things. And then when they were busted, they said, oh, sorry, that was correction. That was a little editor's mistake. What do you think?
About what specifically?
I'm saying about mistakes that they make.
Well, I think sometimes mistakes are not mistakes. Sometimes it can be excused as a mistake when they want to cover something up. And sometimes you make
That's what I'm saying with the Ukraine guy. With the Ukrainian guy, this Yaroslav, what's his name? Hunka. Yeah, they knew that he was actually in the SS, but they pretend that they didn't know that he was in the SS.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty silly. I mean, at best, it's incompetence. At worst, they just lied and said we didn't know when they did know.
Yeah, they're trying to prop up this 98-year-old SS Nazi guy, to represent their cause. Like, oh, he's just another Ukrainian nationalist that's fighting, against the Russians, for their independence. Okay, 1940, called subservience of national defense. If you didn't join the military if you refused to join the military in April 1940, the Nazi government would shoot you. That was called subservience of national defense. Actually, I interviewed a guy who was a Jehovah's Witness who refused to join the military in October 1942, and he was let out in Leipzig in a prison in May 9th, 1945. And the Germans there at the guards, the prison said, you better watch yourself. If you don't, you're going to wind up back here. So, yeah, I've seen 8 concentration camps, a forced labor camp between 3 or 4 different countries in Europe. I've studied the Third Reich since 1981.
Right on.
But this guy's not a good representation for their cause. Just goes to show you how the left will stoop to any level to try to raise money for their cause. Fight. I don't know. I'm skeptical about this whole Ukraine war anymore. I want the Ukrainian people to win, but there's just too much corruption, and all the money that we're sending over there to help with these clothing stores.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Education and all this. There's just too much in there. This whole package. I mean, there's probably prostitution, cocaine, and whatever included in this whole $70 billion we're sitting over there.
Absolutely.
It's crazy, man. I'm just not for it anymore. I want Ukraine to win, but we can't keep sending billions of dollars over there anymore. We have to help America. I say America first, Trump 2024. That's what I say.
Right on, man. Absolutely.
All right, man. You take care and have a great night. Thanks.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And shout out to you guys as well. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. 425 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Andy. Hi, ABL.
Hello.
I was wondering, do you know the guys named Robert with that name, named Robert? They tend to have really big dicks. How big is your?
Okay, that was really random. Let's not. Let's not. Have I ever had a female troll? That's really random. Since when did we start doing that? That might be a trans. Anyway, let's go to 504. Get on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. So very good show. And also, yeah, about those interesting, you're talking about the Roman Empire. I'm related to the Roman Empire I'm related to the Italians and French and different people that were part of the Roman Empire. And yeah, they took over England at one time. That's where the name Anthony came from. And then they had a colony in America, which is our country now. So our country would distantly descend from the Roman Empire.
Okay, well, there we have it.
Yeah, and also showing the politician from Cuba. Yeah, because the Cubans, the Spanish people, Spain is a European country, and a lot of the people there are white. Some people might be olive complected. So some of the people will look European looking, so they're like white people, and other people are, I think it's mestizo, where they're mixed with some of the natives that were there. So yeah, but that guy was a white man, obviously.
Yeah, clearly. He was just trying to use the race card, but I think that might not work for him.
Mm-hmm. No. And also another thing was that, yeah, because basically I think it's absolutely absurd how the Canadians and the different people were celebrating the Nazi guy that was, a soldier from the SS. And basically they're always saying that our side is the Nazis and stuff, and now they're showing their true colors. And I think it's very inconsiderate to, a lot of people that had, deaths and stuff from that situation. And it's definitely making our side supporting that, our country, really bad.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's really just not a good look at all.
Yeah, because a lot of the people like in our country, like say with the LGBTQ stuff they're pushing on kids, and a lot of the white liberals and stuff, how they want everybody of all races to be in this, and then they want to push it on Russia. And then on top of that, they're trying to celebrate the Nazis. I think in a way they're trying to taunt the Russians, and they already want to nuke us, so it's making the situation even worse. It's almost like they all want us to die.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's kind of what it appears to be.
Yeah. And I think it's good for people to be prepared and to be aware what's going on, like what you're doing, sir. And also, I think that the situation in Philadelphia is, terrible what those people did. And as you said, there's diversity. There's different racial groups in there, not just the black people. But yeah, I think that if these people, more people, young people are educated regardless of race to act like that, I think it would be good. Because I think that with the climate, with, people being influenced by media and the liberal people and stuff, may have influenced some people that were receptive to that to become like that.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, because as you see, there's, whites and blacks that were involved in it. It wasn't just black people. And also, yes, the Romans you're talking about, yes, some Roman emperors were against the homosexual stuff, but a lot of them accepted it, and it was generally accepted in Europe. And yes, we're becoming a lot like the Roman Empire in that sense, and also with the different tyrannical, leaders and stuff we have. And, I was thinking that back in like the 50s and 40s, you would never have a president's son or something with crack in the White House. It's like older generations are absolutely disgusted with how the country's going.
Oh yeah, because this is some things the things that are happening right now were unheard of in prior times.
Mm. And I said, people, and I would like people to not like push the racial stuff, because that's what the left does. And, we're all just people, and, both, different, the colors don't really matter, because the liberal ideology, contaminates all different, races.
Right on. Absolutely.
Right. And I see that you have a new nickname is Abel.
I see.
Yeah. And one thing before I go is that I was learning that in New Orleans, we're talking about ghost stories on my channel, and there is this ghost that was haunting a place in New Orleans, and his name was Anthony.
Funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a good night, ABL. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, shout out to the call. Great call. And thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658. There it is, 434-658-1220. And let's keep on rocking and rolling. 859, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
All right, all right. I was watching the show, man. I saw the video of, like, what do you think about Rome? Rome is a big analyst of beginnings of democracy. I mean, the council by itself, they voted for these councilmen to basically to be the part of the ear of the Roman Empire.
Right on.
And it, yeah, basically made democracy at its finest in the beginning. And the funny thing is, if you want to talk about Rome, like Rome, and the philosophy, oddly enough, there's some ties of Ukraine and Rome a little bit of a weird tie to it. It's kind of weird. But Mussolini made fascism in Italy. A lot of the philosophy and the aesthetics of fascism come from the Roman Empire, of that philosophy and that the aesthetic to it, but it's authoritarianism, extreme authoritarianism. And Ukraine, they still have the Osman Italian, and our government's funding it, which is odd. Back in World War II, we were fighting these guys. Now we're teaming up with them. What's up with this? This is insanity.
It's crazy.
My grandfather fought these guys. Now we're teaming up with them.
That's
what?
right. That's right.
Oh my God! Like shoot! Like I like Karl Marx and communism by itself. There's a lot of philosophies on. It's a failure. Well, that philosophy is a failure. Economically, it doesn't work. I know. I get the point of like, hey, everybody is equal financially and class-wise. I get that. There's some form of like activism to it and equality for it. I get the point. But dude, it's destructive. It is. And dude, even the modern left is far worse than the Soviet Union back in the day. Wow. Like this whole like drag queen story hour, I think the USSR would tell you to face the wall if you adjust that to them.
I believe you're right.
I'm just saying. I'm more scared of the left now than compared to the USSR. The USSR was just blunt. You know, they weren't muscular for no apparent reason. They were working the factories for no pay at all, almost like slavery almost. But the government will give you food if they can give you food. You know, right. And they want communism here in this country. What, are you insane? We would starve. It would suck.
I agree with you.
And that's what AOC wants and stuff like that. You know, that's insanity. But hey, man, I'm enjoying the phone call, man. Much love, bro. Enjoying the show, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Much love, bro. See you.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. 912, you don't line. Who am I speaking to?
What's going on, ABL? It's your favorite YouTuber, Joel Davis Media Network, man. What's going on with you, brother?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Everything's going good with me, man. I want to tell you happy belated birthday. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Definitely did, man. Thank you.
Hey, anytime, man. I want to talk about, first off, the riots that's going on and the looting. Wasn't even a riot. The looting going on in Philadelphia. You know what, ABL? I'm just going to be honest. And I know a lot of people don't like me saying this, but ABL, there's no help for the black community at this point. Because we already seen what has happened with all of this ignorance that's going on. This is why CVS, Walmart, Target, all of them leaving, because they just tired of it, you know? And what's sad is you got people like AOC saying that these young people are doing this because they want to eat. Well, the stuff you're looting, you can't eat no Apple iPhone. You can't eat in fact, you must be gonna be an animal if you're gonna eat leather, because that's the only thing I can think of a dog eating on a shoe. So why would you say that? That's just some BS in layman's terms. They do this because they know they can get away with it. They know that they're going to get a slap on the wrist. They know they can play the race card, and people going to be like, you know what? They from a bad area. They're a product of their environment. We just going to go ahead on and let them go on their merry way. But you said something tonight that is true, because we talked about it on my show, is that right now they are pushing more and more Black Americans that want to act crazy, what we call it on my show, Blackistan. They're pushing them further and further out to almost no man's land with no infrastructure and no type of assistance. Now, you know what's crazy about this, ABL? Guess who's pushing them out that far?
The left liberals.
Exactly. The very people that they keep voting for.
Yep.
The very ones that keep telling them, you're a product of your environment. We're going to make it where everything's good for you. They are the one promoting the whole gentrification. I support gentrification. And the reason why I support it, because I'm tired of seeing crime in these neighborhoods that are historic, that have people have went and put their life on the line to build up back in the day when our grandparents and our great grandparents' time, and now they just basically don't care. This is where it's getting down to. They just don't care. And until we get law and order back in these neighborhoods, this is how it's going to play out everything. And I also want to speak about Ben Mendoza. You had some good points on that, and I agree with you too. ABL, he can't use that Spanish, that because he's a Cuban American. He can't use that racism Spanish card. Because it's bad when you got AOC telling him to sit down and stop. AOC said that this is not racism, this is criminal. Oh, that's messed up, bro. Come on, man. You look like a whole white man, man. You can't use that card. What's wrong with you? Oh, my Lord. You doing some colorism activity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh, my bad. I think I might have hung up on Joe. Shout out to Joe. I don't know what happened. But yeah, my bad, Joe. I don't know what happened. I was just, doing my thing. Matter of fact, I didn't hang up on you. I think I resumed it.
Was a part of the genocide and all. As far as we know, he probably was the one escorting these people to their death.
Hey, Joe,
Back in the day.
Joe, I think I had pushed pause on you by mistake, so I didn't quite catch that last bit right there, like the last probably about 15 seconds.
Okay, what I was saying is it's sad that the guy, I think Trudeau, set this guy up for failure, because it seems like to me that they should have known that this guy was a real Nazi, and him being a real Nazi, I'm quite sure he probably escorted these people to their death.
Yeah, of course.
As far as we know. So, yeah, that was just disturbing. But tell everybody once again, man, I'm not going live tonight. I usually go live after you go live, but to check me out sometime on Saturday night after you go live, Joe Davis Media Network. Again, man, congratulations on hitting 1 million. You're almost at 40. You're doing good, ABL, man.
Thank you,
killing
man.
it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Anytime, brother. And so for everybody out there, man, continue to support ABL because we need them. All right, man. Much love, brother. But take care.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right. Shout out to my main man, Joe Davis Media Network. Had a little bit of mistake. I think I just pushed pause by mistake. I don't know what happened, but my man always come through with the good call. So again, Joe Davis Media Network on the YouTubes. 206 you're online. I'm speaking to.
ABL, can I suck your cock?
What is going on here? I don't understand. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. And like a female troll, like I don't really understand. That's weird. But the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All right, 757 online. Who am I speaking to?
How you doing, ABL? Good calls. I missed some of it because talking to family, but family is most important in these times. Now, just talking, I didn't catch all of the video, but I did hear everybody talking about stuff going on with the German family and just the looting and Philly and things. What I got to say about that is, I think, well, I mean, you already know, and like a lot of us know on this, it's a straight up culture war. They're putting us against the 1%, basically. I was in the Marine Corps. Now I'm in construction, and I travel around the country. I've been traveling around the country for like a year, going to different states, working in Ohio, working Oregon, Washington. Now I'm in Arizona, and so I just travel around, do and work. And even saw it in the Marine Corps, saw it here in construction. Doesn't matter if the guy is white, black, Hispanic, Asian. There's lazy people that won't be doing anything. They're just there to make a buck. I mean, the other day we had a guy fired because they caught him sleeping, and it's like that's the culture we're living in. This man's making really good money on in construction, but he's like, hey, I'm gonna sit around and sleep. And that's where our culture's gone, where people are just extremely lazy. They've gotten used to, the government's going to help me out. Let's, suck all the juice we can out of them and be lazy. And that's kind of where it's gone, like with these riots and with the looting and with, whatever. I mean, a lot of it's obviously political. They're doing it to push whatever agenda at the time. But they're just progressively making it worse. And like the previous callers talked about the stores leaving, they're doing that so that one day it's going to get so bad in this country and people aren't going to have somewhere to buy food or anything, that there's going to be just chaos. And I think it's all intentional, that for their agenda, what they're pushing. So I just like with the German family, it's sad to see. You got people that are legally trying to do the right thing, and they're getting the boot, and then we got all these other people that are just pouring in that are breaking the law. It's all intentional. Yeah. I mean, it's like with New York, with the 98-year-old Korean War veteran. My grandfather fought in the Korean War. When I saw that, it made me so mad. He's passed away now, and thank God he was able to. He died suddenly in his house peacefully, and wasn't in a place like that where he had to get kicked out on the street, basically, like that poor man. It's just horrible, and that's just another thing with our culture, that they're just pushing Americans to that breaking point. I think it's all intentional.
I agree, absolutely.
And just one more thing, just with the whole the Russell Brand thing. I just saw the recent video he had today with Dr. Robert Epstein, I think was his name. I don't know if you caught any of that, but it was really good interview, and him talking about what Google has been up to with the information and stuff. And it's like right now, he said they control 25% of the world, not just America, 25% of the world's voting results. So it was a very interesting interview. So people should catch on that. But I just wanted to call. And, good hearing you, and keep it up.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep.
All right, great call. Shout out to my man for the call. 773, you don't lie, who am I speaking to?
ABL, thanks for taking my call. It's your retired Chicago police officer friend. First of all, happy birthday, ABL. And I hope you had a good time on your birthday the other day.
Thank you.
Also, you see what's happening with Philadelphia and our society. Here's the thing. Once you want to have your society degrade into chaos. It's what you said earlier in your video, ABL. It's urban decay. It's the decay and the downfall of your society. The reason you have a law and order is law brings order. We have a certain order that you want in your society. That's why there are laws for traffic laws. We trust each other that you're not going to drive on the sidewalk or on the wrong side of the road and kill somebody. So that's why you have laws, to have order in driving. You have order in society. You try to keep people in line so they don't loot and steal and kill. You know, that's what you want to do. You want to try to control people's, base nature of looting and everything else. That whole thing with, first of all, anytime you have people, you have to prosecute people that are committing crimes. You have to show other people that we will not put up with this behavior, that we want order in our world, and we won't put up with this behavior. As far as the rioting goes, that's the mentality of, a group mentality or that riot mentality, where once people are anonymous, I'm able to participate in this looting because I am anonymous. Nobody's going to know out of all these, people that I am the one stealing. And then once one person gets caught, it's just that one person. They're like, well, look at everybody else. There are thousands. Well, that one person got caught. They need to pay for it. But the thing is, you want to stop that behavior. So you're going to have to control, protesting, because out of protest comes anger and maybe this looting mentality. That's why you have to control it. Not to say you stop freedom of speech and protest, but big crowds must be controlled, because big crowds can get out of hand and crazy things can happen when people are angry and everything else. And this is not a black-white thing, even though there were all black faces in Philadelphia in those videos. I'm sure there's a bunch of black mothers and grandmothers that would say, I didn't raise you like that. They participated in going wild. Yeah, everybody must eat. I mean, you're just stealing and causing chaos. That's all you're doing. And that comes from having a weak society and weak laws and law and order. You need to have a heavy hand. And same around the world. You need to take a heavy hand around the world. The thing in Ukraine and Russia, it's like saying, which gangbanger are you going to get behind? I'm not getting behind either. I want them to both stop. So that's what I loved about Trump. I want the killing to stop. I want both of you to stop. We're not going to put up with this behavior. This is chaos, and this is not good for anyone. It costs money, and it costs lives and everything else. But there are certain people in society that want that. They want that. There's those people that want to see society broken down and everybody, is in one camp or another and taken care of. And that's not the way it should be. It's not the way it should happen. We need law and order in this country. We need somebody strong in this country that people don't like. That's why Trump is not liked. Trump is not liked because he's an a-hole, to be honest with you, and pardon my, my expression there, but he is. That's what those people respond to. You have to be tough. That's why police are looked at as a-holes, ABL, because we get involved to stop people from doing what they're not supposed to do. And by doing that, it's like, oh, look at this guy, getting into my business. I want to do what I want to do. Well, you can't do what you want to do. I've often said that in the simplest call, ABL, when somebody lives in an apartment complex and I go there at 3 a.m. and they're playing their music at all hours. I'm in my house. I can do what I want. Well, you share your walls and your ceilings with other people. So you can't do whatever you want. If you lived on a farm, or I have a house, I could build a shelf inside my house at 3 a.m. if I'm not bothering anybody, but I can't mow my lawn at 3 a.m. So there are certain rules that we stick to, and you can't do whatever you want. So we need to get a handle on this. We really do, because it's destroying our society. It's the decay of our society, and decay happens first in the cities where most of the people are. So it's urban decay. We need to get a handle on this. We have to be a voice and stop these people from doing all this. It's ridiculous. So that's my 2 cents, ABL. Thanks for taking my call, and hopefully I talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
Thanks, ABL.
All right. Great call. And that will be a wrap for me. Thank you all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. And shout out to all you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I could not do this show without you. Alrighty. And what else I got? Shout out to all the moderators keeping all the trolls in check. You know, we had a couple or one troll that called in, but it's all good. That's rare. You know, that's really rare. Some say I should get a call screener. You can't really stop that. You know, people can. It's like this joke I saw where they're talking about it was a bus driver picking up passengers, and the guy that he was picking up was acting normal on the bus at the bus stop, like a regular person, and then immediately, right when he gets on the bus, he acts a fool. But you couldn't really screen it beforehand because he looked totally normal. But that's how it is. But anyway, it's all good. Shout out to you guys for being here. I think that got all the super chats. Yeah, shout out to Bina for giving out 5 ABL memberships, and shout out to Michael Critchlow who says, "Will you cover the Jack in the Box shooting?" I might cover that. Yeah. That was pretty crazy. If there's a news story, like a full news story where they give a little bit more information, I'll probably cover that. But that was a pretty wild one. that was definitely pretty wild. But I think that will be a wrap for me. I'll be back live again Saturday. I'm not missing the show again. I'll be here Saturday doing my show. I'm not traveling, going out of town. I will be here Saturday doing the show. But I'm putting out pre-recorded videos all throughout the week. You guys, please follow me on my other social media platforms. My Facebook, Instagram, and also X, formerly known as Twitter, and of course the website, because if I can't put it on a social media platform, if I can't put it on my YouTube, it can always go on my website because that's mine. Can't nobody control it, but that will be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.